Alrighty, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning to YouTube land. It is, I believe, the 5th of January. Yeah, January 5th. I won't spit on my microphone. So yeah, good morning, everybody. Gonna get started. Just want to segment these sessions out for the video, so YouTube will actually archive the content. Has to be less than 4 hours long, and you can't do that if you run a 24-hour stream. So I'm gonna start changing the way we do things there. Actually went back and watched some of the stream from yesterday. Had some good stuff in it. Elevator music in the background. All right, so good morning, everybody. Good morning, all 6 people. So yeah, got some stuff going on here. We got in the pound right now. I actually mark this out because of where this is. It's still a good trade. 73061. Short the pound right now. I'm like right here. 061 is the entry. It's in profit. Hopefully it stays that way. Target is 1.72188. Looking for the target. 1 second. One whatever. We'll call it 19189. It's fine. Just looking for this run here. Want this to get back below these lows. I'm really interested in breaking this current low after making a lower high. We're just going to target this previous swing low here. Nothing crazy about that. You know, as of right now, we're looking for the money down here, just below these lows, especially this consolidation right here. This is already tapped once. See what happens when it gets back down there. I mean, this is very likely going to make a bigger move. Probably be looking down here, to be honest. Hoping this doesn't get stopped out. A nice position on that. Really trusted at the moment. I'm hoping this fails. People on the other side here. I'm hoping this stops and fails and turns over and squares up here. That would be awesome if that happened. I don't know, it's so close. It's like so close to stopping out at break even. I probably should just move the stop, but I don't know. Want to get hit on the spread there. There's kind of no reason to take a loss on it. I can get back in the market if it's not gonna go immediately. Man, stupid thing's gonna go. It's gonna get stopped out. Hold on 1 second. Man. Yeah, pound yen still good. And all those pound dollars actually moved. Man, let the dollar come down again? Yeah. Yeah, this is okay. I still want to be short here. Man, what a bummer. This is worth a shot. See, the problem here is if this is going to come back up, it's probably just going to range for a while, for hours. If it doesn't just go like and it comes back in the range here, it's probably just going to stay there. I would say it's unlikely that this is like a false move kind of setup because of where this is in the cycle. I mean, it's maybe. You gotta trade what you see, but it would be a weird higher low here. I think I'm gonna get stopped out on this, and it's gonna turn over and go. I'm gonna be mad about it. Probably should just keep the entry, but I don't know. We'll see. If it goes back up, I'll re-enter it. I just don't want it to get stopped out and then drop and then take off to the downside, and it's, you know, takes out that good entry. Anyway, no big deal on that. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Let's see what we got here. We got Weakness in the pound. Extreme weakness in the pound and the dollar. I was kind of hoping the dollar was going to pick up a little bit. The Swiss, maybe a thing. Another opportunity on the Swiss. Oh man, this one just took off. Might have just picked the wrong one to put the big position on. Such a bummer, man. Could have just... Such a pain in the butt. It could have just taken the 1% and been done. I was already up more than 1% when that first dropped, and now it's coming back. Could have just closed everything at more than 1% profit and been done. But still think this is going to be weak. Yeah, just got stopped out. Got to be kidding me. Man, that is very frustrating. Still in pound dollar. Yeah, there it is. Pound yen is up. God. Sucks, man. Is the one I put the bigger position on. Now this thing's going to reject and slam all the way back down. What a pain. So yeah, anyway, it's no big deal. It's just frustrating because I had a half a lot on that and it was up more than 1%. I could have just closed the whole thing. Stupid. Looking for the big hit, and sometimes you're gonna get stopped out, and now of course it's gonna slam back down. It's all right. Get back in it if it's gonna do the right thing here. I'll get back in it. I think it's a weird spot for a false move, so I don't think that's coming. Just got wrecked on the entry though. I'm not going to let it run against me with a big position on. A smaller position, I'm going to let this breathe. No big deal. Pound yen's in profit. This looks good. This looks really good. Yeah. We got pound yen too. Hold on one second. See what we got here. Short here. Same thing. Really from this open right here. 38.957. Yeah. See what happens. It's good. It's a fair trade. Man, that pound CAD is really gonna piss me off. Thing just went up, stopped me out to the pip. I mean, it couldn't have been any closer, and then rejected. Game on that. Just got stopped out in profit. Didn't lose anything. It's a $2 gain, but I mean that trade was up over $100 by itself, or close, right at $100. It's like 90 something dollars at one point. Oh, man. Stops, man. That's why I don't like stops. You get the direction right, and then you got to sit through the volatility. That is a pain in the butt. If I would have just moved my stop just a little, just left it. It's all good. All right, so pound dollar is still okay. I have a feeling that's going to be a really good trade looking at higher time frames. I wanted to be in it. So this is what happened here. This pushed down low out of that. You can see what happens there later. Yeah, this thing's on the way. Actually need to move this lettering. Move it, slide it over or something that's in the way. Now I'm really cursing at it. It's funny, we're just laughing. It's about to start cursing at pound CAD. Man. That's trading for you right there. Stopped out to the pip at break even. and then back down. Game.
Jump back in while it was still at the top.
I'm
No,
thinking about it. I should have just stayed in it. I was actually considering moving my stop. I was looking at it while it stopped me out. That's all right. Still got some others. The other trades are good. It's all right. Just have a feeling that one's gonna go. Let me get back in it here. Ding. Might get back in it, and if that breaks that high, then I'll just close it. I'm gonna take it here, exactly right here. Same target. I'm just gonna get back in it. Not as big a position. Same thing. Lost a few pips on the entry, but no big deal. That's not a big deal. I'm not worried about that. And I'm gonna anticipate that this is gonna square up, close bearish. If it closes bearish, I'll stay in it. If not, I'll just take a stop. If it goes back into range, I don't want to be in it anymore. Come back to that. Yen's looking better. Pound dollars, meh. I don't know what happened to the dollar. The dollar looked really good, and now it rolled back over. Let's figure that out. What happened there? Yeah, it's kind of holding. This was looking like it was going to reverse, and then it kind of rolled back over. So that's okay. A range is okay. Again, just kind of taking a little test shot on these. Wait and see if they're going to go. See if they're going to actually take off. See. Yen looks good. I mean, it looks okay. It's just already been, it's weak, but there's a lot of room. Like, there's plenty of room on these trades. I don't know. It's not a buy. I know that. Matter of getting it in the right direction. Kiwi and the Aussie were the trades. Pound Kiwi and pound Aussie were good shorts. It's just, it's already run like all night. Might just have a big day. You know, we were just talking about a minute ago. Pound pairs might just have a huge day. These may continue. It's not bullish, that's for sure. See, we'll take a look at that later. Not gonna worry about it right now. Low. Should have taken the profit while I had it. Always pain in the butt, but and what do you do? Let's take a look at everything here. Skip that for a minute. Just there's a lot of potential there on that pound CAD run. The CAD looked like it was going to start moving. I still think this is going to end up dumping pretty hard. It just didn't go straight. It didn't take off straight down. It's going to go back up and screw around and range for a couple hours and then go. All right, so what do we have here? Take another scroll through here. See what we got. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Got what we got. Yeah, I was hoping that was just going to take off. Gonna mess around here. Dollar's looking like it's potentially gonna get weak again and not turn around. It's looking promising there for a second. Started to make a higher low. then went back and broke it. So you got a really weak pound and a really weak dollar. Yeah, really weak pound, really weak dollar. The CAD's kind of flat. The Aussie and the Kiwi are the strongest, but they've been strong. There's no reason to take a position on it now while it's on the high. We'll watch it for a second. Let's take a look at everything. See if this is what this is going to do here on pound yen. Who knows? It was worth a shot. It just didn't push straight in. There's still a lot of room. Still may reject. It's way too early to make a call on that. All right, let's see what we got here. Happened to old buttcorn. Yeah, Bitcoin's still in a range. Nothing to do. It's interesting. I mean, you got a pretty well-defined range boundary on Bitcoin. It's just there's no entry. No entry there. Sipping my coffee here. Yeah, dollar is iffy. On the low, like it looked like it was going to start coming up a little bit. This thing's very low overall. Like as far as like I think we're going to end up in a range here and then getting a stronger dollar later at some point. It looked like it was going to try to make a move there earlier. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, Euro Aussie's not really much going on. Just again, it's in between like a swing high and a swing low. Like there's not much happening here. I mean, I would guess that it's going to come lower. We'll come back to that. I don't think the entry's there right now. Euro Kiwi is kind of the same thing. On that range low, like it's near the low. I think this is eventually going to put in like some kind of higher low. This hasn't done it yet. I mean, we got a consolidation here that's not amazing, you know, especially coming off of a high to stop and consolidate like that before any major level. I mean, it's basically just, it's working through this right here. And there's not really much going on there. EuroCAD, this actually looks bullish. Let's take a look at that. That actually looks good. Structure-wise, looks good. Gonna make a decision on that. It's interesting. It's short-term bullish. Euro is just not really doing anything. I mean, it was coming down, and now it's kind of made a move, like a little return move. Man, these pound pairs. That's such a big potential. Looks like it's just going to range now. Going to distribute up here and then probably go later. Pound had a chance to make a nice push there. This looks like it's going to range. It was worth a shot. Taking the profit. Should have just taken it. This looks like it's going to do nothing is the problem. I don't think it's going to go bullish. I just don't think it's... It looks like it's coming back up to reject. It's going to be hours. So that's kind of bunk. Problem is everything's flat. Everything's flat to weak. And if everything's weak, then there's not a lot of movement. The dollar. Yeah, it's Euro. Whatever this is, EuroCAD looks interesting. It's at a good spot. You know, it's one of those where, I mean, there's room. There's room for it to go. I definitely would rather be bullish than bearish on it. just to try to get above this consolidation right here, above this where it's distributed before. I would much rather be long than short. See how this candle closes. If this candle closes bullish, then we'll take it from there. You know, we got something forming right on the level here. Again, if we segment this out, you know, kind of got, you know, buyers and sellers in the same spot. We're holding this bullish here. So if this is going to close strong as it pulls back, probably want to take that long. It's showing signs of moving forward beyond this. You know, you got this block forming right here, buyers and sellers in the same place. It's showing some evidence that it wants to go. And if it's going to go, we've got a previous high here, previous day's high. Be a solid trade. Try to get above that previous day's high. It's 40 something pips. This closes strong. We got 4 minutes. If it closes strong, probably going to take that. Not doing anything. Yeah, it looks like this pound is going to come up and reject and then roll over later. It's just going to be slow. It's weak, but it looks like it's going to be slow. This is a possibility right here. Man, should have just taken the profit. It's always how it is. Could have been done and just chilling, waiting for the perfect entry. I think actually this is going to be a good one. Euro CAD. Euro pound is another one that actually doesn't look that bad. This looks like a bullish pullback. Watch this for a second. Yeah, so the dollar's getting a little weaker here. Dollar's just broke the low. I don't know how far down that's going to go though, because it's already so low. We'll watch it. Nothing to do right now on it. Again, Euro Aussie's not much. Euro CAD just chilling. Euro CAD's actually interesting for a long. That looks good. Looks good. I mean, we're just on the first, kind of the first consolidation in the cycles, first little push, and it would make sense. At higher lows, higher highs, it would make sense for that to go higher. If this closes strong in the next minute or so, we might take a stab at that one. We'll check this. CAD, yeah, I mean it looks good. I'd rather take it from the low of the range, but it's one of those that if it's going to go, it might just take off. I'd rather take it from down here in the bottom of this block, but I don't know if I'm going to get that opportunity because of where this is right here. You know, this is kind of holding strong right here, flipping that daily, and we're above the above equilibrium for the day, so it looks good. Might end up having to take that. CAD, if I can find it. Yeah. Wait for this candle to close, and as long as this candle closes bullish, Probably just take that. Kind of hedge the pound CAD. One of those two is going to go. Hopefully pound CAD goes down, euro CAD goes up. All right. Taking it on the open. Oops, not that way. Just going to take the average on that. Not even worried about the, not worried about it coming down a little bit. I'm going to let that breathe, smaller position. And I'm looking to break the previous day's high. Very simple. Honestly, I would like it to go higher than that. And, but really the goal is to get above this high from yesterday. With the possibility of probably that actually would be the target. I would shoot for that average target. See what happens. See what that looks like later. Yeah. Just take the stop if it's gonna go. I mean, if it comes back below that range, then whatever. Don't want to be in it anyway. See how that works out. Still in this block, but that was a strong close. The buy every day. Whether or not it goes is another question. Back to that. Know what the pound's doing. Didn't make it back in the range. We just got, you see how it's kind of struggling between these two previous levels. It's trying to work this out. Hopefully this rolls all the way back over. Man, it's tempting to just close that since that didn't do what I wanted it to do. Pound CAD. Bullish. I don't like that, to be honest. Just don't like it. Changed. Problem is, look at the 1 hour. Like, that's not bullish. Looks horrible on the 1 hour. I feel like it's, you know, if you just wait, if we can survive this 27 minutes, and that next candle is probably going to be bearish, and the one after that is probably going to be massive. Makes sense. Stay on it until this changes. It depends on how, if this 1 hour closes way up here, then I'll get out of it. But right now, stay in it. Taking a guess on it. Doesn't look great. I know that. Yeah, I'll just wait. Looks like it's going to be a short-term reversal to the upside now. Changed. Profit. Now it's going the other way. So anyway, keep an eye on that. Got something going in the right direction here in a minute. Guessing at the moment. Dollar can't make its mind up. It broke low and then started coming back the other way. So anyway, on with the day. Man, that is crazy. Just, it's bullish. Hold it right back to the low. Still okay. You know, again, whatever this is, Euro CAD. Yeah. FOREX is like that sometimes. Looks good until it doesn't. Yeah, we'll see. If this is going to go back below this, so just take the stop, obviously. But the crazy thing is if this goes down, then pound CAD's probably going down too. So it's kind of hedged, and we'll see which way it goes. One of those two trades is going to work out. This is crap. GJ, I'm actually going to close this. I don't like that. I'm out of that. GJ, it came back into range. I don't like it. Before that gets before that does something bad, I'm just going to leave it alone. Garbage. Jesus. All right, so now we'll watch and see. That didn't go. It just didn't take off. You know, this is the problem. This is what I was saying. If this is going to turn around these pound pairs and start to come back up even a little bit, it looks like it's going to range for hours. It's frustrating. I hate it when that happens because it's not bullish. Like, that's not bullish. It just looks like it's going to range for hours. And down broke the low, but it's in the cycle. Like, it's not like it's coming off of a high. Like, it's not a buy. It's just not a buy. So wait for it to be the right thing, you know. But coming back up into the range like that, that's not a sell anymore. It was. It's not anymore. Just not. So it's unfortunate. I don't know what to do with this either. Stupid, because it's bearish on higher time frames. And to see if this is going to hold this or what. If this snaps back down or what's going on here. That is not bullish at all. It's not even close to bullish. Just not a buy. You know, wait and see if this, you know, pound dollar is going to come back. It's just weird price action. It just didn't go. It didn't run. Popped out and came right back in. Just looks like it's going to range because it's not bullish either. Looks like it's going to range for a while. Take the stop on that if it gets stopped out. And watch this, you know, watch the pound pairs and see if they end up rolling back over. It's just, man, that's really messy. It's not a sell. I mean, it's not a sell anymore there on pound yen. It was. Pound CAD coming back into profit. This never made it back into range. I'm hoping these roll over and die. Anyway, Euro CAD came back to the low. Man, that's a bummer. But what do? Just take the stop. Not too bad. If it's going to go back below again, if it's going to drop below, man, I can't believe that happened. Closed strong up there. Right at the last minute. Thing slammed down. But anyway, we'll see, you know, right here. This was the better buy. Honestly, it's a buy here. Where this, whatever this is, was it EuroCAD? It's a buy now. This is what I was saying. I should wait for the low of the range and for the low of this block, but it looked like it was going to take off. I didn't want to miss it. Alright, no big deal. Small position. Euro pound. This is interesting, actually. Yeah, we're kind of getting a little bit of back and forth. Yeah, good morning. Good morning, YouTube. Getting some choppy market mess here. So, I don't know. I'm gonna leave it alone for a minute. Wait for a clear direction. Took a chance on the pound going short, because it looks like it's going to on higher time frames, and it's pulling back. So, change my my bias on that for now to nothing, to no trade. Euro dollar looks like that might go to. Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of chilling right now. It was worth a shot trying to take the pound short. It's coming back. By far the weakest was. It's just pulled back a little bit. Man, that CAD. That stupid pound hadn't pulled back up. That thing would have taken off to the downside. But yeah, now there's nothing to do. so we'll wait. We'll wait and see. Nothing's running. Euro CAD, I'm going to stay in this until it breaks the low of this range. If it's going to go back below the low, then whatever. It's just until it breaks through that. It's fine. You know, it's a buy now. Should have waited for that. I was just trying to front run that because it looked like that was the time it was going to take off. But I guess not. No, we're going to be in a rangy market. I mean, you see in the euro and the pound going into range mode here. Because higher time frames, the pound is not bullish, and it's coming back up short term, so that just probably just means it's going to range. And there's no entry here. You know, I mean, you could try to guess and take it the other way. It's just not, I don't think that's really great either. I mean, yeah, I don't like that either. Action's right above it. Just wait on it. On CAD, not sure yet. No, we'll see. See about this. This comes back in the range, and I'll probably just close it. It looks like it's trying to. See, the problem with this is if it does, what's it gonna do? Like it's coming off of a high, off of a lower high. Like it's not bullish. Ugh, it's a mess. So I just try to leave it alone from it. What this looks like is this looks like it's gonna come back up and reject again and then roll over. And it's just gonna be a rangy mess for a couple hours. So just be aware of that on the pound. Not bullish, but it's short term, not bearish either. We'll skip that, go to something else. Unfortunately, might be boring for a little bit while we wait. I get stopped out. It's worth a shot. Taking some break-even stops today. Man, it's crazy how that works. Go from up over 1%, and 5 minutes later, you know, everything's getting stopped out at break-even. And then this is down. It's crazy. Go from up over 1% to negative in literally a few minutes. Day's not over yet though. This still looks okay. It's just this structure, this is still bullish on, again, higher time frame. Just lower time frame, things are pulling back. So yeah, just watching now. Fortunately, it looks like it's going to be a boring few hours here. And find something unrelated. I want the dollar. Dollar looks bearish now. I mean, assuming that the dollar continues down, euro dollar might be a thing. It looks kind of bullish at the moment. Hate to freaking buy. I don't want to buy euro dollar up here. Stupid. I just, out of principle alone, I don't want to buy it. It's just too high. Crazy thing is, I mean, if it's going to shoot for those highs up there, I mean, There's liquidity. I mean, this makes sense. The money is up here above the high. It's going to go bullish. I mean, I could definitely see this ranging here and then taking a ride up. I don't know. We'll see. We'll watch that. There's nothing else looks good. You know, assuming that the dollar is going to go weak again. If the dollar rolls over, it just closed the, you know, rejection. Just kind of iffy. Like, this is kind of an iffy candle. Closed underneath with a rejection. And I mean, it makes sense. Thing's a mess. Today looks like it's going to be a mess. I don't know what's going on with Tuesdays lately. I think last Tuesday was horrible. It's one of the worst trading days I've ever seen. That last, right before the break. A lot of times Tuesday will be better. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are better days. Everything looks like crap. I'm just going to be honest. Everything looks like it's going to be choppy. If the pound's not going to just turn over and run to the downside, and it's going to try to hold where it is, then it's probably just going to be choppy. So I have to find something else. This is a possibility here in euro dollar. I'm going to probably just take that and not think about it. Just take a super tight stop on it. Not even think about it. I'm not going to wait for it. I'm going to take the hash if it comes back in. Take that stop. Looking to get above the previous high. At or above these highs. I mean, makes sense that if this candle closes bullish, just going to, again, I'm just anticipating that if this closes bullish, then there's very likely going to be a continuation. If it comes down, I'll take the stop. Comes back in the range, I'll take it. He's good. Again, let me see where this is. Going to come back in the range. I'll take the stop again. Target at or above the high. Be higher than that, but I think it's going to go much higher than that. 23182. Today might be a shotgun approach day. Get in a couple things and manage it. See what goes. CAD's rolling back over. That's the problem with that. I think the pound pairs are going to range for a little bit and then roll back over. That's what it looks like. Yeah, I don't know. We'll watch. See what happens. I mean, see what happens. Take the stops until something goes. The beauty of taking a little bit smaller positions with larger targets is, you know, you can sit through the risk. It's not a big deal. You're not worried about, oh my god, if this comes back 5 pips, you know, I'm gonna lose a bunch of money. Yeah, it's a maybe on the euro. Basically, we've got a whole bunch of chop. The pound was making a move and it turned around temporarily. The dollar was rolling back up. It was coming back up and then it dropped again. So I don't know, we'll see. Nothing to do. Sucks. There's nothing to do. Everything's going to be a choppy mess. Calling it now. The pound is not a buy. It's just coming back up short term, but it's not a buy. So that's going to be a mess. But yeah, I don't know. We'll watch it. Just give it a little bit and we'll watch. Probably just stay out of it for a few minutes. Just taking a couple little small things. Yeah, just gonna leave it alone for a minute. Price action wise, everything's crap. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing to do. But then like the pound, like if you look at the pound like on higher time frames, it's not I'm bullish. Just didn't go. It just didn't run. So now we gotta wait. We're waiting for a pullback. We got a pullback candle like on a 1 hour. 1 hour, 4 hour kind of situation. It's just gonna range. 4 hour block here. We're on the low side of it, but bearish. Just right back in the meat of the order block. There's nothing to do. Like pound CAD, pound yen, same thing. Nothing to do. Bearish. All these pound pairs are like super bearish on higher time frames. And just haven't moved yet. We'll see if they roll over later. It's a possibility that they go back over. That is not bullish at all. We had this big, huge, nasty, flat, bearish candle. It's just pulled all the way back up. Instead of continuing, it pulled all the way back up. So now we're going to have to sit through this and wait for a few hours to see if it's going to come back down, you know. Kind of nothing really to do. Real pain in the butt. But it is what it is. Actually, it's a good time to go coffee back up. We'll come back and take a look at like oil and gold. Oil's back at the top of the range. No trade really. Oil actually might, I mean, it looks like it's trying to make a move. It's just, nah. It's a little high, but trying to make a move. If it would pull back a little bit, that might be okay. Yeah, I mean, let's just wait on the pound. I think the pound's going to be a good short. It's just pulled back up for about an hour. So this looks like it's going to be in a range and hopefully roll back over to the low. Maybe we can get something going here. Euro CAD, I don't know about that one. Stop on that. Euro dollar looks okay. Got a bunch of back and forth. Nothing. So look at the yen's flat, CAD's flat, the euro's flat, the dollar's flat on the low, the pound is changing directions. Swiss is choppy, probably trying to get stronger, but it's weak right now. And then you got the Aussie and the Kiwi up here chopping. They're strong, but there's no real direction. So we got a whole bunch of nothing. I don't know, we'll flip through and again in a minute and take a look. It's just how it is sometimes. Don't really have any news. There's not much news today. I mean, there's nothing really. Got unemployment for Germany. I mean, not like a market moving data point. I think it's already out anyway. Yeah. The heck is this? Changing the number of unemployment, changing the number of unemployed people. So that's good. I don't know. So German employment was better, and Spanish employment was worse. That's not a market moving data point. Like it's just not a thing right now. In under normal conditions, maybe, but with all this COVID mess, I mean, everybody knows that nobody's working. That's just not. It's not an important data point. There's just nothing. There's nothing news wise, data release wise. It's important. So yeah, nothing. Now we wait. We wait, and hopefully pound CAD rolls over and takes us to the moon. That's really frustrating. Got stopped out of that. Back in profit. Crazy. Frustrating on the pound. Just got shaken out. Looks like it's going to go now. It's okay because once we get some clarity on that, then I can get back in. Dollar's just doing nothing. It's not stopped out yet, but it's close. Give it a chance to roll over. Yeah. It just went one more round to the upside. Now let's see what happens. I mean, this candle here kind of changes things. Yeah, makes sense. You know, we'll see how it closes. And then take it again. Oh, just got stopped out on whatever that was. EuroCAD. Stopped. Man. Market's just completely changed directions. That didn't work. It was worth a shot though. This, I'm saying, I should have waited for the bottom. But if you wait, sometimes you miss it. So it's alright. Don't mind taking a stop on a small position. Makes up for the distance, makes up for the dollars. So that's that. I actually got stopped out, so I'm actually behind today for the first time in a while. Wow. I mean, like, as far as closed exposure, but pound CAD is a possibility. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Just watching right now. It's very early, and
Good morning.
hey, good morning. What's going on? There's not really much going on yet. waiting to see if the pound is going to continue to go or what. Like it was going to go and then pop back up, and now trying again. I don't know what's going on with it. Got shaken out of pound yen, and now it's in profit. Closes, take another stab at it. Yeah. Not really a lot going on at the moment. Waiting for a direction. Finally getting it. Pound's finally moving. Just this, I was saying, it looked like it was going to chop for a while, but this is a good close. This is a really good close. There may be a chance to re-enter here. See which ones might go. Yeah, I mean, pound CAD is the one. Like, pound CAD's just got so much room to the downside. It's bearish. Pound yen's same thing. I mean, pound yen's got room. Pound yen short. Like, I like it short, but I want to see this candle close. I mean, it's short still. It just got a really nasty pullback on higher time frames. So, good game on that. But shaking out at break even on pound yen. I'm considering re-entering it, but I'm gonna wait and watch it for a minute. I think they're gonna end up going later. Just looking at the higher time frames, I think the pound's gonna end up coming down today. I'm actually in this ad short. Yeah, let's watch this for a minute. Hold on, give me 1 minute. Be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. Take the long journey to the kitchen. Okie dokie. What we got here? Kinda got a little bit of choppy chop in the market. A bit of choppy McChopperson. Yeah. Kind of flipping through and looking. I mean, it's unfortunately there's not really a lot to do. What was that? Euro pound still looks bullish. Of long than short on that, but gonna take another ride back up. It's just slow. I think today's gonna be slow, unfortunately. At least London. I think we got a bust in London. Got a dud. We'll take a look through and we'll just keep spinning through. Wait for something to happen. God, I got a headache. What's up with that? Dollar hasn't done anything important yet. Yeah, I got it shaken out at break even. Okay, just not moving. The other thing, pound, euro, dollar, I think I'm in. This hasn't done anything yet. It's not stopped out. I'm gonna try to give this a chance. Stopped out. Give this a shot. Waiting. Whole bunch of chop going on. Kiwi's coming down a little bit. Wait for it to pull back up. Look for something that's getting stronger. See, the euro is just kind of flat. Euro is kind of flat, so nothing really there. Watch this for a second. Gonna be like a whole bunch of nothing going on. So yeah, see what happened with buttcorn. Hold on a second. See what happened with old buttcorn there. Let me look at these euro dollars trying.
Thoughts on SPF? You're gonna take another leg down.
What's that? Sorry, I didn't hear.
SPF's gonna take another leg down.
S&P. Let's take a look at it and see. Yeah, it's funny. This actually looks a lot like Bitcoin. It's crazy. Look at the Bitcoin chart and then look at this. It's like identical. Actually weird. Look at the Bitcoin chart and look at that. It came down off the high, popped back up, and it's consolidating in the middle. And then look at S&P. Came down off the high, popped up, it's consolidating in the middle. It's like the same price action. Over there on YouTube. Yeah, basically right now, I mean, there's nothing happening. I mean, you got that wild sell-off and then nothing. It's come back and it's just chilling as of short term. I mean, whether or not it's going to make another leg down, I mean, I would definitely look at higher time frames. Doesn't look good. I mean, you know, see like if you look at the 4 hour, you can kind of see, I mean, you see where it's rejecting. It's just hasn't really done anything yet. You you're in the middle. Looks like there's a big, huge possibility of some kind of a consolidation here. You know, if this ends up going back and forth, I mean, I would probably guess yes. I mean, the risk I would say would be to short, but at the same time, there's no confirmation. So I would be watching lower time frames on this. Honestly, I wouldn't do anything. This kind of price action is garbage. It just looks like it's going to range, but short term, like I would guess that it's going to roll over. I would rather be short than long. Oh, euro dollar just went into profit. Yeah, it's just weird. Weird price action. I don't know what I would do there. Nothing, probably. Yeah, I wouldn't do anything on that. I would leave that alone, just because it's just right in the middle. Wait and see what it does. Yeah, it's just still kind of in the range, and price action wise, it's kind of garbage. Yeah, I wouldn't do anything on that, to be honest. I'll flip through and go through everything. We got new 4-hour candles. Go through everything. Bunch of nothing.
Think gold will retrace anytime soon.
Yeah, I have no idea on that. I mean, it's bullish right now. I'm waiting for it to put in some kind of range. It just
seems like it's bullish all week long.
It's just grinding. It's grinding. You know, you got that brutal grindy trend on. So again, just waiting to see where's it going to come back to. Eventually, it's going to come back to something. God, I can't see. You know, eventually there'll be some kind of some kind of range put in like that. I just don't know when. When's the drop? Actually, it looks like it's kind of selling off a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it looks like I would watch this. I mean, I wouldn't sell it yet. Looks like it's kind of starting to sell off a little bit. Yeah, I mean,
if it comes back into the range, you could take a quick scalp.
Yeah, I mean, you could sell it and just have a stop above above the high. I mean, if it's and just
I don't think I'm gonna do that.
It's just
It's a bit tricky at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, this candle right here is pretty nasty. That big shooting, evening star, big pin bar there. That's it just tells a story. Price was big. This was a big green bullish candle at one point, and somebody stepped in hard on it, and so now that there's a big seller here. Somebody stepped on it hard enough to push it down. So now everybody's like, some people are going to sell here. The problem is sometimes it'll push up a little bit more and then go. I don't know what I would do there. I would wait. Yeah, I would wait for this to show some sign of it coming back down, and I would probably look for to be in some range, like probably down here. Like if you look for it to come back to there or something. Just looks like it's going to be some kind of big consolidation, but it's really grindy. There's a lot of density in here. There's a lot of contracts in there. So on the way back down, it might be slow to cut through that, unless there's some catalyst, news or something. Yeah, it's bullish, right? It's bullish. Nothing to do. Short term, it looks like it's about to pull back down, but I just it's not really a short yet, to be honest. I don't know. I wouldn't do anything on it. Nothing looks great right now. There's the pound looked like it was going to be a good entry earlier. It looked like it was going to be a clean push to the downside, and then it stopped. And now it's doing nothing. So I don't know. The euro's not doing anything. I don't know, man. Euro pound, that's actually interesting on euro pound there. That is the thing right there. 20 seconds left to close that. 20 seconds left to close that. Makes you wonder about the pound. God, is the pound going to go bullish? Boy, there's all kind of back and forth going on right now. Gotta be kidding me. Yeah, this is going to be a rangy, choppy day. Just going to try to, honestly, it might just stay out of it a little bit. I have a feeling today is going to be one of those frustrating days, and I don't want to get caught up in it. I'm going to, like this, I mean, this is clearly like 10 times out of 10, like you have to, it's one of those things where you have to take it like 10 times out of 10 on euro pound short. Broke the previous high, spike squared, second leg. I mean, it's like 10 times out of 10 you have to take that risk, but at the same time, the pound looks bearish on higher time frames. So what the heck, man? It's conflicting information. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, now look at pound Swiss. Yeah, things are, I don't know what's going on here, man. Things are changing. Now pound Swiss is kind of showing a little bit of bullish activity. You know, this is not, I mean, that's good price action. I don't know what's going on with this. Stuff's all over the place. It's bearish on higher time frames, and then smaller time frames it's back and forth, but fighting it. Not really doing anything. A mess. So yeah, just gonna try to stay out of the frustration of it for now and just wait. I'm not gonna keep taking stuff and get chopped up all day long, you know, 7 or 8 times getting stopped out. Like, I'm not doing that today. I mean, I can see what's going on, and it's not favorable for trading. It sucks, man. I hate it. I hate it when you know early at 5 o'clock in the morning that today's going to be crap. You just know it's going to be garbage. And you got a higher time frame saying one thing, and then a lower time frame going the other way. That equals a range and chop. Get range expansion and garbage. I don't know. Euro dollar is the only thing that's looking normal. That doesn't even look amazing. We'll see. Yeah, it just looks like it's just gonna be one of those days. And try to stay safe today. Not taking any big positions. It's like I was saying, if the pound is not gonna go down, I think that was the chance for a big run today. Was probably the, you know, like pound CAD, pound dollar, pound yen taking a big move down. And if it's just going to screw around and do nothing and chop back and forth, then probably just not going to mess with it. That's what it looks like. I think it's going to end up going down, but it looks like we're going to be hours of chop. And it might try to, you know, retest that high and reject like the current range high. Yeah, unfortunately it looks garbage right now, but you know, it can change. Things can change. Again, got higher time frames saying one thing and lower time frames saying another. That's rarely a favorable market environment. Yeah, we'll take it as we go. We'll watch and see what's going on. Nothing really big to do. And flipping through, I mean, we got new 4-hour candles. We'll take a look at that in a second. Let it kind of chill out for a minute. Maybe see something. Let's go through.
It looks like the pound's gonna go bullish.
Yeah, the short term. Yeah, depends it depends on the time frame. You know, look at the 4-hour, and you know, definitely see something different on the 4-hour. See a lower
bearish,
a lower high, a big, huge bearish engulfing candle, big monster bearish candle, and pulling back up. You know, to a likely failure point. It just may range for the next 8 hours before it falls. You know, you might get You might get 1 or 2 4-hour candles before that actually goes, is the problem. You know, even if it does stop here, you know, that's very bearish on the 4-hour. The problem is it's pulling back up short term, so yeah, we'll have to see. You know, I have to see what's going to happen here. Short term, like this is it's high. It's coming off of like a range high with a lower high here, and you got a big bearish candle in this, but this higher time frame. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like 4-hour, like it's horrible. Like it's rejected multiple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 times. You know, 6 times rejected here, and then big bearish engulfing candle, and now this candle is just pulling back up. So it might go later. I was hoping that was going to be it. That it was just going to take off, and it didn't. Now it's, you know, it closed super bearish, and now it's pulling back up. You know, it's just see if it gets through center mass there. See if it rejects. I don't know. I mean, you see what it looks like on the 4-hour, but you know, in lower time frames, it looks like it's going back up. You know, that's the thing. Is this going to be what's going to happen here? Is this going to be just a big consolidation and end up coming back down later and then going, like, it could go for hours, you know, before this figures itself out. So it looks bearish on higher time frames, but right now it looks like crap. So, and at least it looks like it's trying to hold. Oh, euro dollar, at least that's moving. Something going. Dollar CAD, I think the dollar is just bearish. Yeah, this is another thing that kind of changed directions. The dollar looked like it was, at the time, the dollar looked like it was reversing back here and going to head back up. And then that changed. Now this is rolling over bearish. Super bearish now on the dollar index. So that's a thing, you know, coming back down. You know, you got lows down here. You got possible targets. So if the dollar is going to go bearish, then that's good for whatever, euro dollar. Got a mixed bag right now. Don't know what's going on with the pound. Looks like it's pulling back up to reject is what it looks like. Like the pound's just pulling back up far enough to reject and then roll over later. Not riskier entry. I mean, looking at higher time frames, especially that 4-hour, it looks like it's going to go down. The pound looks like it's coming back into range now, short term. Kind of wrecked. It just looks like a chop. Looks like the slap chop today, which is okay. Some days it be like that. Anyway, back to what we're doing. Oh yeah, 4 hours. Let's take a look at. Let's do a 4-hour sweep here. We'll watch on YouTube for a minute and watch that euro dollar issue to see if that's going to go or not. Second. 834. I was just looking at some said if euro dollar breaks above 228334, it'll be a good buy. 23087. Target. Oh, just looking at the high. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. This is kind of a hedge against the dollar weakness. Anyway, market's crap today. It's garbage. Right now. Anyway, 4-hour sweep. Back to that. Super bullish euro dollar on the 4-hour. Very bullish. Liquidity above the highs. Got everybody's, all the breakout noobs at the top. Buys above this level after it's already run way too far. All right. So the dollar is bearish. We still got a couple hours on that. Super bearish dollar though. I mean, again, if this, see how bearish this closes, and the next candle is probably going to pull back up and then reject. Like this is, there's no big push here. Like this, it's just going to be slow. Like even on the dollar, like even if this does close bearish, the next candle might pull back up and reject right here, and then take another 4 hours. 8 hours from now, it might be lower. Yeah, it's kind of the problem with euro dollars. It's very likely going up. Just structure alone. Like I hate to buy it up here, but what it's showing is it's very likely going to go higher. But at the same time, it could be really slow getting there. So, kind of see what's going on there. Euro Aussie. Hold on a second. It's just going to be a slow day. Try to stay safe today. Stay out of the mess. I mean, I wouldn't sell that. That looks like it's trying to reverse. I mean, for one thing, you got the big bearish candle, you got the smaller bodied candle in the middle. I would be aware that that is possible. Higher low kind of thing. On Euro Aussie, it's actually really interesting on Euro Aussie there. Let's take a look at that one. Smaller time frame, low of the range. Yeah, I mean that might be a thing. I mean, looking at that price action, it's one of those where we'll probably look at it later, and it's probably gonna be up here later. Like even short term, like coast to coast run. This makes sense, that drifts higher. It's just not really the best entry right now. Interesting though, looking at the 4 hour. So anyway, back to that, 4 hours, smaller bodied situation there. Probably going to go up a little bit. Go QE, same thing. Same, very similar structure. Probably going to be higher, but the entry's not there. EuroCAD still looks bullish. This looks like a bullish kind of a pullback here. It's just in a range. Short term, like that was it was a bad close, but overall, like it's still okay. It's not really an entry there. I have to wait and see if this 4 hour candle closes bullish, then maybe. It's a shame because everything looks like garbage. Euro pound, it's just a range again. I mean, that was a really strong close though. That was a really strong close there, and as this pulls back, again, it's just rejected on the top also. It's just a block, staying inside this block here. There's nothing, no entry, and no entry. I would look at it on lower time frames and see if there's, on this pullback, like it's a potential entry, but short term, that's a short. I was just saying, I know that's there on the short term. Just nothing. It's nothing. Like it looks, see what I'm saying? Like it's not exactly bearish on higher time frames, like on 4 hour. Like you don't want to sell that. You don't want to sell that on the 4 hour. And then you look at the 15 minute and it's a sell. See, that's the problem. It's a sell on the 15 minute and a buy on the 4 hour. Basically market wide what the problem is right now. Euro Swiss, I mean, that's pretty clearly bullish there, especially after coming all the way down. I mean, it just makes sense, on the 4 hour. Really trade this one, but just doesn't move a lot. You know, this would pull back a little bit. May not, you know, see if this is going to hold the top of the range here, but this is, I mean, this is bullish on the 4 hour. If this would pull back just a little bit more, I'd be interested in that, just based on what it's doing there. I mean, that was a bullish, pretty bullish candle there. It's just also kind of messy. Maybe. I mean, euro dollar's bullish, period. On the 4 hour. I don't like buying it because it's so high. This is like scary high. And as soon as it, you know, it's looking to get at or above this high and get out. Crazy, because this is like crazy bullish right here. Just, it's so high that I don't like buying it, but I mean, it's short-term bullish. Look at the 1 hour. It's bullish. He's bullish. Period. End of story. Yeah, just looking for the high. That's however many pips, you know, it's 30 pips to the high. See if we get it. Back to the 4 hours. Hold on 1 second. Just looking at something. So yeah, euro dollar is bullish. Probably a function of the dollar being so bearish. But yeah, euro yen. I mean, the same situation on euro yen. I mean, it's the same thing. We're just waiting to see if this is going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. We've kind of expanded this range. And just looking, see what happens on the low of it. If it's going to actually cut low. You know, there could be a big trend coming on this. Got a big gap here. You know, another possibility is that this comes down and fills out underneath this range, like right here, and fills that gap out. You know, this right here. You know, that's also possible. This comes down and ranges again, puts in a lower level range. I would rather be short for sure on euro yen. I think it's just probably more to do with the yen than anything, but right now it's not a short after coming down that far. All these rejections down here back to the bottom of this range, it's just not a short. It looks like it's going to range. Pound dollar, I mean, it's bearish, but it hasn't closed yet. It was bearish. I mean, God, it's horrible. Price action is terrible on this right here. That's terrible. I'm just expecting that to happen. It looks like a huge drop is coming, like a massive drop. It's just, it's pulled back and it's fighting it. It's fighting it, but it's, I mean, at some point, something's going to have to give here. Like, that does not look good on higher top. Look how high this is. That does not look good, that price action. It looks like it's going to take like hundreds of pips, like a 400 pip drop. It just hasn't done it yet. That wasn't it. I was hoping it was just going to run and take off, and it didn't. Pulled back up. So got to wait another, you know, 4 to 8 hours to figure that out. Same thing. Look at pound yen. Same thing. I mean, look how bearish that is. It's terrible. Horrible. Yeah, it's really bearish on higher time frames, and it's just pulling up. It just pulled back up instead of continuing and go. It just didn't run. A lot of times it'll just run straight out, you know, in the morning and just take off. And it just didn't. It stayed in that little range and pulled back up. But the next 4 hour candle is, you know, assuming that this fails like this, you know, that next 4 hour candle is probably just going to be another wreckage or, you know, drop. Like, that's bearish. That's super bearish price action. Unless this thing closes all the way back up here, there's no reason to buy this. Pound yen, it's horrible. Yeah, I often see another chart. Yeah, I'm talking to the group on the other side. I'm just, I let YouTube listen in to some of the stuff that we talk about, and then I go over stuff over here too. There's really nothing to look at. We're just kind of talking through price action, but so yeah, sometimes somebody on YouTube saying they can't see what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to see. We're just looking at 4 hours, just talking through higher time frame bias stuff. Change the name of your channel. Yeah. It is going to be changing. Actually going to be launching another channel. Going to be doing some other stuff. Yeah, but as far as right now, I'm just on this monitor. We're just watching this trade, see if this is going to go. But I'm just talking through higher time frame price action on the other side. Yeah, I know it can be. People are often like, "What are you talking about? We don't see it." Yeah, it's just flipping through the other chart, the group chart. Just looking at stuff. Just looking at 4 hour. Trying to get a directional bias on the market, just get an overall viewpoint of where we are, since we at 5 a.m. we just got a new 4 hour candle. So just looking at them, see how that last 4 hour candle closed, and see what might be coming today, going into New York. But yeah, pound yen, I mean, it's bearish. All these pound pairs they look like crap on higher time frames. It's just shorter term. They're just pulling back up short term. It's just not a buy. Have to see how this closes though. I mean, there's still a lot of time in this candle. Let's see. Obviously you want this to close below this level. Yeah, it's just not bullish. I guess what would change that is if it came all the way. I mean, imagine if this closed all the way like a big railroad tracks here. But then think about where it is. It's right back in these rejections. So it's still not bullish. Like, it's still not bullish. Even if this candle closed like a bullish engulfing, it's still bearish. Yeah, it's still not, a buy from there. Because look at all these rejections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a row. So assuming that this rejects here, it's kind of the game theory here is that this is gonna square up on a 4 hour and do something like that, and then go. But that might be 8 or 12 hours from now. So think about that. If this is just going to go sideways for at least another 4 hours, the 7.5 hours, the remainder of this candle plus another 4 hour candle, it's probably just going to be bouncing back and forth between the low and center mass here. So you got another 7 hours of sideways on the pound. See what I'm saying? Like, how I look at this, I'm like, man, this is garbage. Like, this whole day is wrecked. Just looking at the price action on the 4 hours, just like nothing's going to happen unless there's some weird thing that happens. Like, what this looks like is that nothing is going to happen today on the pound. Yeah, if it did go up, it would probably still reject all the way back down. And what's probably more likely is that this rejects here where it is right now and ends up bouncing between here and its current low, which isn't very far. And you get another 4 hour candle of range. So you got, what I mean? Like, it's very likely to be in a range for the next 8 hours. So think about that. Be sitting here with a range on the pound for 8 hours. It's what it's likely to happen. And just thinking ahead, it's just like, just looking at everything, it's like garbage. It looks like today's going to be crap. But that's okay. Some days are like that. Normally it's Monday, sometimes Tuesday, but a lot of times Tuesday's good though. There's been some pretty good Tuesdays. That is for sure. There's no set thing. There's no set thing that says a certain day. London. I just saw that. Oh my god. Got the long dong session going. What the heck is that? Lol. Hold on a sec. Let me God. Fix the name of the stream. We got him dying. Man, gotta get a hold of it. Londong session. Misspelled it on the stream title. That pesky autocorrect. And get banned for sure if I stream long dong session. God. Alright. So anyway. Lol.
You're starting different kind of stream.
I was gonna say, man. Need only fans for that. It's got it confused with my OnlyFans. Sorry, guys. So yeah, back to what I was doing. I just saw that. I was just looking over at the chat. Hold on, let's see what's going on. Standard lots where? Someone said they sold 2 standard lots of what? Sorry, I missed what's going on. Pound CAD's rolling back over. I think the pound's gonna go down. It's crap right now. I think it's gonna be boring. Anyway, a little get a hiccup there. The long dong session. Lundong session. How that happened. Alright, so pound Swiss. I mean, again, bearish. I mean, obviously a big bearish candle, and it's just pulling back. Same thing on all the pound pairs. There's a big bearish candle in that last 4 hour, and now it's trying to take some of the move back. It's just like a pullback. These Aussie and Kiwi are in a different category. They've already traveled too far. The Aussie and the Kiwi are very strong today. So those had a big dump overnight, and they kind of stayed there. So those are no longer a good risk reward. The pound Aussie and pound Kiwi are nothing. You stay away from those right now. They've already moved way too far. Man, that was beautiful on the NASDAQ. Poked above the high and poked above this range. Again, where's your money? Right above the consolidation. Poked it and then boom. That was wild. That was a big candle. But anyway, same thing here. It's just a range. Nothing's changed here on the NASDAQ. The S&P, Dow, all the same. There's nothing here yet. I would watch this though. There's going to be something here. We just don't know which way it's going to resolve yet. But this kind of thing is, you know, sellers on the top, buyers on the bottom. Got everybody in the same place making decisions. So whichever way this is going to go, there's probably going to be a move. I don't know.
BB.
Hey, what's up? I'd say this is either going to make a lower high or go break the low, obviously back down into there somewhere. I wouldn't make a decision on it yet. Wouldn't do anything.
You get in?
What's that?
You get anything or no?
A couple things. Something. In pound CAD. I was in a couple things. I took a break even stop on pound yen. I'm up 23 cents for the day. Lol. I've still got whatever that is. EuroCAD. I took a couple things and nothing's really played out yet. Basically, the crazy thing is I took some trades and then instantly within like a minute or 2 minutes was up over 1% and just didn't close it. I was like, all right, cool. Got some big trades on. And it all came back. The pound came back, so I could have just closed out more than 1%. Now I'm just waiting. We got higher time frame bearishness on the pound, but it's just not going yet. So I'm not doing anything on it. I got stopped out at break even on pound yen. I'm still in pound dollar, but it's just a small position, and I'm just gonna wait. It's almost stopped out, but not quite yet. Pound CAD is still in. It's back and forth. This was a big full bearish candle, snapped all the way back up. It's bearish on higher time frames. I was trying to short the pound, and then I got whatever it is, euro dollar long. It's the only other thing. There's just waiting. Nothing's happened yet. The market's not looking too good, to be honest. It's just not a very favorable trading environment yet. Anyway, all the pound pairs are coming back up. Just gonna wait and see how far back, how far up they come. Looking to hopefully have these reject here and then roll over, and then maybe later pound CAD short will play out. Pound dollar is a maybe. Who knows what? I just don't know what that's doing. Looked like the dollar was gonna bounce there, but I guess not. So dollar CAD's not doing anything. Back to the 4-hour sweep here. I mean, it's a bearish 4-hour. You just got both here. It's not bullish. Not bullish, but it's all already come down so far. It's just not a sell anymore either. That's not a sell. You leave it alone. You're right in between swing high and a swing low. Nothing there. Stay out of the middle. Just leave it alone. It's trading lower time frames, maybe trying to scalp that back and forth on a 1 minute. That's just not what I do. So I just don't mess with it. So yeah, I don't know what. There's nothing to do there on dollar CAD. Dollar peso. It's actually, this thing's still accumulating down here. Like, this interesting price action actually on that. It's still accumulating way down on the low. Short-term bullish. I mean, that was a big strong candle and it's pulled back a little bit. I mean, I'd rather be long than short from here for sure, given where this is. And I mean, it's closer to the low of this range than to the top. And you got a big bullish candle. I'd rather be long here. I just don't trade this one. I don't trade it, but I'd rather be long than short. It's not necessarily an entry though. They loading the truck. Thought I heard the truck backing up there. But yeah, it's eventually this is probably going to go higher. It would make more sense that it goes higher than lower. Just not a waiting on the dollar. It looks like the dollar is going to go up at some point. It's just not doing it yet. Oil, this actually looks really good on oil. That candle close, that last 15-minute candle close was good. It just looks good. There's room on it. Like, the structure of it looks good. Looks good to the upside. The entry's not there right this second. Let's flip back over to the 4-hour real quick. Let's take just taking a spin through. Well, we got some downtime here. There's not really much going on. I'm spinning through the 4-hour candles. I mean, obviously it was a big bullish candle. It's just that this is ridiculously high. Way too high. That's the problem. Way too high. So I guess wherever this comes back up, eventually this is going to make a lower high. You talk about transitions and, eventually this is going to make a lower high and then do that and end up in some kind of big, range like that. That's probably going to happen at some point. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, so I don't know what I would do there in the 4-hour. Like, it looks like oil is it's slowing down. It's slowing down, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Wouldn't do anything on it. Hold on, give me 1 second. But yeah, oil's kind of slowing down. Still laughing at the long dong session. Lundong. Yeah, oil. I would wait to see if this is going to make a lower high. If this is going to come up and like retest this current range high up here. I would say what's more likely is it's going to be in some kind of consolidation, like a distribution. Consolidation, distribution is the same thing, just different purpose. But you know, this looks like it's distributing. Probably going to pull back down a little bit. Nothing really. I mean, it's a big bullish candle. I mean, it's currently bullish, but it's already moved. Had a big move up, pulled back and slammed all the way back up, and it's on the high right now. The entry's not there. Gold is the same thing. I mean, gold is just super bullish. I mean, we were talking about this last week, you know, coming back to the top of the range. It's on the way. Waiting for this to get back to this previous high on gold. Higher time frames, like it's just, you know, the prophecy has been foretold on this. Like it bounced off the low of the range and it's just on the way up. And when this consolidated right here and left that, you know, it just makes sense that it's going higher. It just makes sense. I'll be watching this last week's high right here first. But right here, there's just nothing. There's no entry here. It's just melting up and there's no entry. You know, you're chasing it at this point. You know, if you're going to chase it, that's fine. Just make sure you got a tight stop on it. Because if it pulls back, like, I mean, it could be like a pretty nasty range. You know, minimum, I would say right here. You know, you might be buying the top and then this just does this. You know, it's not a good idea to buy that. But it's not a short. It's definitely not a short, but it's not a buy either. Silver, same thing. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, taking a flip through. Trying to see what's going on. I don't know. We'll just wait it out for a few minutes and see. Well, give me a minute. I'll be back in just a second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna run to the kitchen real quick. Watching this 2 minutes. I'll be right back and we'll continue the day. We'll actually flip through some lower time frames and try to get a bias and see what's going on. Just give me 1 minute. Almost done. Give me 1 second. Okay, alrighty. I think we're back. Reached a resistance on EU. Yeah, I mean, there's actually a lot of room that this could go up. Just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen here. It's holding a level. I'm watching it. There's a level here that's being held. As long as this holds and consolidates here, I think it's still going to be good. Yeah, I think it's going to be slow, but a goer, but a slower goer. I don't know what the CAD's doing. Pound CAD, I mean, I think it's just sideways. Pound is crap today. Just gonna leave it alone. What else? EuroCAD. EuroCAD came back up. Not really doing anything. I think EuroCAD's gonna be bullish later. Not right now. Yeah, I don't know. Let's do a flip through on YouTube, see what's going on. I'm just kind of waiting right now. Honestly, there's nothing to do but wait and see what's going to happen. We're in this crap environment where, again, higher time frames are showing one thing and lower time frames are pulling back. So we got kind of rangy, kind of got a choppy lower time frame situation going on right now. But yeah, anyway, Buttcorn, nothing. There's nothing here. It's just in the middle. There's no trade here. You're right in between a high and a low. There's nothing to do here. I mean, you got equal opportunity to get wrecked both ways. Stay out of the middle. Nothing to do. Dollar's still bearish. Dollar index probably looking to head down quite a bit more. If that dollar is going to stay bearish, then euro dollar is going to go up. There's a 100% probability of that happening as long as the dollar stays bearish. So it doesn't look very good right now, I'll tell you that. Just kind of squaring up bearish here. Looks like it's going to go down. Back to retest this low. Pound doing here. Yeah, this pound's just pulling back up. This looks like it's pulling up to reject again. Pretty ridiculous. Big range, chop. Anyway, yeah, so the dollar looks pretty bad. Everything is whack right now. What is that? Kind of Euro Swiss. A mess. Wonder if that's going to be another wick back down. I would be very careful with that. That wick all the way back down, that's going to be wrecked. Pound CAD's probably going to get stopped out. I don't know what to do with this. It's just, it's higher time frame bearish, but it's pulling back now. So now it looks bullish short term, but if you look at the 4 hours, it's definitely not a buy. So it's best to just leave it alone. Chopped up today. Gonna stay out of it. I'm not gonna get chopped up all day today. Dollar CAD doesn't look very good here. You're not getting a sustained move here. Nothing's actually running. By this time of the day, something should be running. Like, nothing happened. Like, it's just objectively, like, still in the range, still in the range, still in the range, still in the range. Euro Swiss actually left the range, but now it's kind of rejecting. Euro dollar is a maybe. Euro yen still in the range. Pound dollar is actually changing direction, but again, it's bearish on higher time frames. About to get stopped out here. Just take the stop. Take the stop. I don't know. Just close it. It's bearish on higher time. It's not bullish on higher time frames. It's just right now. It's pulling all the way back up into this range and screwing around. So it didn't go. There's just nothing. This is still in the range. Pound yen still in the range. Pound CAD back in the range. It just didn't go. It didn't run. It didn't even go a quarter of a daily candle, and it's back in the range. It's in a consolidation. Pound Swiss back in the range. Pound Aussie back in the range. Pound Kiwi back in the range. See a theme here? NASDAQ never left the range. Still in the range. S&P still in the range, flat. Dow still in the range, flat. It's trying. Still in the range. Dollar CAD is barely out. It's barely made a move because the dollar's been bearish. Dollar peso, I'm not really worried about that one. Oil is the one thing that actually looked like a good entry earlier, but it's too late now. Gold has just been bullish. Nothing to do. I mean, it's probably not the best idea to buy it, but it's not a short either. Yeah, it's just not a buy here on the high of the day. It would be better if it pulled back. If it's pulled back a little bit, I might take a shot on it. I mean, you just kind of see the theme here is that nothing is doing anything. Nothing's moving. Hopefully euro dollar is going to go here. Got a bearish dollar. Nothing's happening. So got higher time frames saying one thing and lower time frames saying another. Dollar's flat. The Swiss is weak. Pound Swiss ended up being an interesting little run there. This, we were just talking about this a minute ago. Hold on, let me get rid of this for a second. This price action right here, when this happened, so I was saying this looks kind of bullish. Talking about, this making that move in the second leg. It's just too late. And it doesn't look good. Higher time frames, it's just back. It's in a consolidation. It's just back on the high where it's rejected multiple times. I don't know, who knows what's up with that. I mean, it's not bullish, that's for sure. Coming off of a high like that, it's just back to the high of this range that keeps rejecting. That's not bullish price action. That actually pretty bad. That looks like it's going to go much lower. Just not, it's not a buy. The entry's not there. It's crazy. Everything is just Everything's just kind of doing nothing, which is okay. I do just wait. Yesterday was actually good. Today, nothing's happening today is the problem. There's no sustained move anywhere in the market. Just kind of counting on a bearish dollar right now to carry euro dollar through. And it's choppy. Hopefully it pulls, hopefully that dollar pulls down. I mean, it looks good on higher time frames. I mean, it's in a consolidation. I'm going to give it a chance. So, you know, strong close. It's in kind of this range consolidation. There's nothing really to do. It's just short term. I mean, that's not bad. And given that the dollar is bearish, this makes sense. This is also looks good on higher time, on 4 hour. 4 hour, 1 hour, 4 hour looks better. I think it's just going to be a slow day, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, it's Tuesday. There's not much data. There's not many data releases that matter. There's nothing here that matters. There's fakenewsfactory.com. There's nothing here that matters. ISM, manufacturing, PMI, like nobody cares about that right now. People care about going back to work. Gotta have manufacturing workers to have manufacturing. I don't know. I don't know. Watch and wait. Kind of stay out of the chop today. Fake news factory it is. The most manipulated news source I've ever seen in my life. That's saying something. Yeah, this can be pretty bad sometimes. The forecast is a joke in itself, but then they'll revise these numbers, they change them, and then I think the biggest problem with this is it's not consistent. You know, they'll show you this red number, it's red, ooh, it's bad, and then it'll just get faded the other way. You know, everybody trades on it, and it's just a high liquidity event for some bigger fish with more money than you to come around and take the opposite end of your trade, and you end up getting smoked, you know, trying to trade the colors. It's just not. This is a weapon, is what this is. This is a weapon that's used against you. Period. Full stop. End of story. This, if it's not consistent and it gets faded, it's not useful. The thing that's useful with this are the times, when the time that these data releases are getting released, and only certain ones even matter. The timing is important because that tells you when the volume is coming. And really the only thing that matters here to me on this entire thing is the rates decisions. Like the federal funds rate and any interest rate decisions, because again, that's where large decisions are made. Large positions, policy is set, financial policy for companies and funds and banks are set based on the certainty of those rates. So that's the only thing that really matters, or that's literally the only thing that matters right now, at least. That federal funds rate. The employment numbers don't even matter as much right now. Normally, non-farm payroll is the thing because there's uncertainty. Ooh, I wonder how many jobs were added this month. You know, it's a mystery. You know, there's something that's unknown, so it's something that can be gambled on. You can place a wager on something. You know, you can place a gamble that more jobs were gained this month or whatever. But with COVID, you can forget that. Everybody, there's no secret. It's baked into the cake. Everybody knows that nobody's working. Like the cat's out of the bag. Like there's no secret. There's no mystery. There's nothing to trade. Everybody already knows that people are losing their jobs. There's rising unemployment. The economy is absolutely mega wrecked. And everybody knows it. You know, we have a crazy rising unemployment rate. You know, it's been getting worse. Like everybody knows that people aren't working. So there's no surprise here. So, and then when there's no surprise, there's nothing to trade. So this isn't even a thing anymore. Non-farm payroll is non-existent right now. It's non-farm existent. It's just not a thing because, again, it's baked in. It's priced in because everybody knows, the whole world knows that nobody's working. So there's nothing tradable here. So even non-farm payroll is not a thing. The thing that matters is the rates decisions, and those only come every couple months. You know, so every once in a while, you know, and this is another thing about the jobs numbers, is ADP releases the jobs numbers on Wednesday, and then on Friday everybody pretends like it's a big surprise when, you know, you get the non-farm numbers, the same thing. It's the same data release as ADP. It's the same data reported by two different sources. And, you know, there's just, everybody thinks it's a big surprise on Friday when ADP releases it on Wednesday. And then they'll revise it. It's funny to watch that too, when ADP will release the jobs numbers, and then they'll revise the forecast like right before they release it. It's ridiculous. Like the stuff that happens here in the economic calendar is actually pretty rude. It's just ridiculous if you actually pay attention to it, especially revising the data. They'll come back and change it after the fact. After it comes out, they'll come back and change it. So everybody will trade it, and then they'll come back and change it and say, oh, sorry guys, we got to, you know, it was something else. And then on top of that, the most important thing here, the real takeaway from this, is that it's not consistent. They'll show you something that's like red, or they'll show you green. It's green. You know, unemployment rate is only 13%. It's green. It's better than last time. And then everybody trades on that like it's like a red light, green light, like it's a stop sign or something. They're supposed to hit the brakes, they're supposed to hit the gas, just without thinking about it. Everybody trades on it, and then they don't realize, wait a minute, that's actually bad. And then everybody trades it. It'll be like it's green, and then everybody trades it, and then it gets faded the other way. Or even when it's good, even that's the crazy thing about this, is it's inconsistent. And when there's good data comes out, it'll just get sold into. They'll fade it the other way and sell into it, and everybody's like, well, what happened? It was good it was good data, why did it go down? You know, just it's not consistent because it gets faded. This is used against you, so I don't even look at it. I'm interested when the federal funds rate decision is. I think it's like every little bit, and then that's about it. But again, non-farm's not even a thing anymore, because not right now. Think about it. Everybody knows that nobody's working. Like there's no surprise to trade here. If everybody knows the information, there's nothing to exploit. There's no spread in understanding. You know, there's no spread here. It's baked in. It's no secret that everybody's wrecked. So there's nothing to trade here. So you just close it. Nothing to do. Nothing to do with that. There's definitely no data releases that matter. That stuff's used anyway. That always, there'll be a technical reason why something happens, then they'll try to make it. They'll try to explain it with news. It's another thing, is the news follows the technicals, not the other way around. And I don't know. So I just don't mess with it anymore. I've seen too many times the data gets faded. They'll fade it the other way. They'll just fade retail. Everybody just mindlessly says, "Ooh, it's green, let's buy it. It's good. We got good data for this and that." And then you watch the chart just get wrecked. It'll go up for a couple pips and then just get absolutely smashed, just completely smashed. Everybody's like, "What happened?" Because there's a herd mentality that all starts buying into a red or green color. Ooh, it was good data, let's buy it. And then the big fish are just sitting back laughing, like that Ray Liotta gif. And then they bought it when it was green. Ha 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 ha. You know, there's thank you for your liquidity and your participation in the markets, but we think we'll take it the other way. Have a nice day. Anyway, that's my My opinion on Forex Factory. If there's no rates decisions, I'm not interested. Rather watch the technicals. It's going to go to technical levels either way. It's just sometimes it happens faster. It's good to see when the times. It's good to see when there's likely to be a spike in volume. But volume is another myth in a way, to some extent. Markets are going to do what they're going to do anyway. Get into that right now. Euro dollar. Yeah, just looks like it's going to be a boring day. It's a maybe here. I mean, we're still holding this consolidation. It's not really going anywhere. Oh. I'm missing the health conversation in the chat here. Talking about Forex Factory. Yeah. In the couch. In conversation. So yeah, anyway, just kind of watching, just chilling right now. I don't really know what to do. It's not a lot. There's nothing to do but entertain you guys right now and wait for something to happen. We're waiting for the market conditions to change. You need to do something, break a high or break a low or show some kind of directional move. Euro Aussie is a maybe. If it would pull back, I could see this drifting up a little bit, but there's no entry. Whatever this is, Kiwi, not really an entry there. Nothing yet. Yeah, just got a bunch of ranges, which is okay. It's just not it's not an ideal situation. EuroCAD is, who knows. This is going to end up pushing back up at some point, but there's no trade right now. And flipping through, there's nothing here. I mean, it's just, again, it's very, very quiet in the market today. It just might have a consolidation day. Sometimes it's like that, you know, you get a move, like we had good moves yesterday, and then you get a kind of a range consolidation day. How it is sometimes. And nothing really. Euro dollar still okay. I mean, it's holding. It's not moving quickly, but again, it's better than nothing. This honestly is this is better structure than some of the basically everything else. It's kind of holding a consolidation here. It's just kind of blocking up. There's not really a lot of action here, but if this holds, we can make a move up to another consolidation up, make a push and then consolidate. Would like to get around this high, even if it's a lower high, just make a push back up into this consolidation. I think it's gonna fill that gap out. There's a little gap here, you know, where there's not much going on. I think it's gonna end up doing something like that. And when it does, I might just take profit. It's not really, it's nothing amazing right this second. Euro yen is nothing. Dossie's nothing. Needs to pull back to the low of the range. Just had this little move up. It's not bullish on higher time frames. Kiwi doesn't look bad. It just needs to pull back. Like it's not a buy. I mean, this is in a relatively fresh downtrend on higher time frames. Like this is not the time to buy this. Like it's just not. As this comes up and comes back to that, like that is not the time to buy that. And it's probably just going to do that. We're just getting the pullback right now. We're pulling back into all the consolidation on the pound. Gonna have to sit through this. So like I was saying earlier, we're probably gonna get like 8 hours of range before something actually happens. It's unfortunate. So just watching right now. Today's not gonna be a very big trading day. I can already tell you that. Not much gonna happen. We'll just do some analysis and we'll keep an eye on it and watch. Watch it. Dollar's moving.
What's up, baby?
Hey, what's up, man? Nothing really. There's nothing happening.
Oh yeah, we still holding down on S&P too at the bottom.
Everything.
I bought S&P yesterday, man. I got
bottom too or no?
I had a good day yesterday.
3676.
Good day. Man, I got a perfect entry, but I closed it because I gotta secure the whole thing.
Oil just made a big
I didn't get
move.
out yet. I'm at the bottom, like 36,
Oil just pushed hard there. Hold on a second.
Yeah, oil is a long
Oil
man.
just slammed up. I just watched it. It just.
What is that daily,
Just
bro?
moved back.
Holy.
It's just not really. I mean, it's definitely not a buy. Not now. Earlier when this pulled back to here, we were talking about that. It's probably going to be going up, but it's not really amazing. I think it's probably just going to come up and make a lower high and start distributing. I would leave it alone. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with it here. I wouldn't chase that because of what it looks like on higher time frames. It's just kind of garbage.
This target is 55 for now because of the way it's coming back.
Yeah, it's just not a buy now is what I mean. Like now after it's already moved that far, yeah. It's not really doing it. It's just kind of waiting, man. I don't know. This market's not moving. If you look at everything's still in the range. Basically.
Yeah, gold
only
is
a few things. There's a few things that moved. Yeah, gold's been grinding since yesterday. It just never stopped. It hasn't hasn't gone that far. It's just not a. If it would pull back, I mean, it could be a good entry long. It's just on the high of the day.
1970 is a good short if you want to short this. You know, it's 200 pips away, but you know, still.
And it's like everything's just in kind of in the same range. Like nothing's moved yet. There's really nothing's moved yet. Oil's had the biggest move of the day. Indices are doing nothing. Currency's doing nothing. The dollar is chopping on the low. The euro has gone nowhere. They're all inside the range still, with the exception of euro dollar. It's the one we're in. It's the only thing that's showing any kind of directional move, and it's not very fast. Euro yen's in the range. Pound Aussie's still in the range. Pound Kiwi's still in the range. Pound CAD's still in the range. Pound yen's still in the range. Pound dollar still in the range. Pound Swiss still in the range. S&P still in the range. Oil moved. Gold is barely moved. It's holding, but it's so high that it's not really a good idea to buy it. Like it's moved up multiple consolidations in the cycle, and it's just after breaking yesterday's high. It's just I wouldn't buy it here. If it pulled back, I would be interested in buying it, but I mean, it's just for me personally. Like if you're trading like a 1 minute chart, and then you might see something different, but what I see is rejections on the top end of every single candle. So looks like distribution, they're selling into it. Just people are buying it and somebody's selling into it. If you look at the tops of the candles. Yeah, everything is nothing. There's really nothing happening. There's very, very little movement in the market today. And looking at, and it's really what's going on higher time frames. If you look at the 4-hour candles, especially like the pound, they all look super bearish, and we're just getting a pullback candle. It looks like we're going to be in 4 to 8 hours of pullback and range. There's just nothing but range going on. Pence in Congress tomorrow. Interesting. I didn't know that. Is he making a decision on? Is there something has something to do with Georgia? Maybe. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, there's just not a lot going on, and that's okay. Some days you get a consolidation day. That's how markets move. You'll get a big push and then like a ranging day to shake it off, and then you get another push. Generally it'll come. Wednesday and Thursday are normally the best days. That's the most movement for the most part. So there's no set rule though. There's no set rule that says the markets don't move on Monday or whatever. Markets don't move on Tuesday. It doesn't work that way. It depends. It depends on what's going on today. Just taking an objective look at everything today is just not a favorable environment for trading. There's going to be a lot of chop today. We'll stick with it though. We'll watch it. Things can change also. It takes one candle to change the entire structure. Things can change, and then might have a completely different outlook. It's just right now on these higher time frames, like especially with the pound, like it's just like trading the pound because it's volatile, but it's just got super bearish price action and structure on these pound pairs, and it's just pulling back. We're in a pullback candle to the upside on the 4-hour. There's just nothing. It's not a buy. It's just not a buy. That is not a buy on the pound. All the pound pairs doing the same thing. Even if this candle closed all the way bullish up here, it's still not a buy. We're at the top of this range off a lower high. 2 low progressive lower highs. Big bearish engulfing. Big bearish engulfing candle, and it's pulling back and it's fighting the central mass here. And you're just watching it right now. Like there could be just, a couple candles of back and forth here of just range and chop. It's just not. I tried to take it short on early. A lot of times you get that push and it'll just run, and it didn't do it. It actually went and could have closed one, but it was up over 1% and didn't close it. So now I'm sitting waiting. Could have just been done for the day. Like within minutes. I think it was within like a minute or 2 minutes. Was up over 1%. When I took everything, took all of it all at once, it was up like more than 1% and didn't close it. Just looking for the bigger run, and it didn't come. So now I'm stuck, we're just stuck in a range waiting for the market to move. There's nothing happening, but it can change. Just got to wait. We're in a dead spot anyway. And as soon as, in about an hour, things will actually probably start picking up a little more. Euro dollar's moving. I mean, we got a trade on. Just boring. Like, got stopped out at break even on pound yen. Euro CAD. Euro dollar's running, and the rest of it's just garbage. There's just nothing happening. Pound CAD, I'm waiting, see what that 4 hour is going to do. Euro dollar, I'm going to watch this as it gets a little higher. I don't know, we'll see if it'll go a little higher. It's that, yeah. It'll go a little bit higher. Probably take some profit on that. A little bit more. Just close it and bank the profit and just go up. You know, get back to, you know, neutral here. Back in the game. And then look for something else. The day's not over yet. Yeah, I was kind of watching. Give me 1 second. We'll find something to do here in a minute. We'll look at something. Give me 1 minute. Alrighty. There's a little sell off there. Okay, let's see what we got. Flip through. So what's up with Buttcorn? Again, nothing. Nothing there. Dollar's kind of pulling back. I don't know what the dollar's up to either. Yeah, I mean, play a game or something. It's like, it's one of those days where there's just, meh. You know, sometimes there's no sustained move. There's no big push. Aussie's kind of coming back. Euro Aussie would pull back a little bit. There might be something there. It's just not there now. Euro Kiwi is kind of the same thing. I wonder if this Euro is going to run. It's going to end up, I mean, it's getting stronger. The base is here. The pound and the euro going the same direction. The dollar's doing nothing. You know, the pound was extremely bearish and then it came all the way back. It's still a lower high. So who knows what's going to happen there. I don't know what's, if it's trying to change direction or what. You know, it looks horrible on higher time frames. And short term, it's pulled back. The euro is, again, changed directions. And it's trying to go stronger, so what's going on with this? Dollar. Kiwi and the Aussie have rolled over. That might be a thing. You know, something that's stronger. Pound Aussie, pound Kiwi. I mean, I wonder what's going on with that. Short term, is there a scalp here? Probably. I don't like buying it. I don't like buying somewhere like that. Oh. I mean, this actually looks different. The structure is different on this. I mean, looks like it could potentially go up. Rather be long than short on pound Aussie. But some of these other pairs look terrible on higher time frames. See, this is even, you know, so it's already moved up a lot. You know, we're going to be running into some issues right here. It's basically come back up to the trap on the 4 hour. And you've got this whole area right here is just going to be sell side. Nothing, I mean, it's just nothing there. Like, there's no trade to take. Euro yen's interesting there. Basically got a cord of wood right there on euro yen. That's not something you see every day. It's pretty clean. Not flawless, but it's pretty clean. You get that coming off of a, you know, it's just likely to go back up. You know, just the price at the story that's being told here, you know, it's just price rejecting the low. It's buyers coming in. It's buyers and sellers in the same place, but coming off of a trend, you know, a move down. It's just likely to head back up at some point, you know, whenever this chills out. I think this looks like the low of a range. It's going to go back up. How far? Who knows? This pound dollar, like, that's not bullish. Not bullish. It's like kind of like 3-line strike-ish kind of thing. You get a big move down, get a grinding move back up. It's just probably going to make that measured move back down. That's not bullish. Like, the overall structure here, especially being this high, it's just not a buy. Like, it's not a buy on the pound. I wish it was, but it's not. Pound yen is the same thing. Like, this is terrible. Like, this is not a buy. This is a fresh drop consolidation. It just dropped off the high. It's consolidating here. It's kind of failing underneath this previous consolidation. It's rejecting. It's just not, it's not a buy. But on smaller, you know, on lower time frames, it was pulling back up. What I think about UK total lockdown, that's a good question. I don't know, man. I mean, it's not good. I mean, it's never a good thing. I don't know what's going on with that, whatever the new version of the designer coronavirus. I don't know what they're talking about with that. I know there's some new strain of that. I don't know if that has anything to do with the lockdown, but yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's colder weather. You know, I guess it's expected for there to be, you know, more problems with it. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Call of Duty, here I come. Yeah, basically. It's one of those days. This is one of those days where you just play Call of Duty mobile on the stream that on the computer. I think my graphics card will run Call of Duty mobile. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question, you know, about the UK lockdowns. Not sure about that. I'm not up on the local politics on the ground there, but you know how that's actually going. Yeah, I mean, it's never a good thing. You know, like here, like where I am in the U.S. and in Florida, not really much has changed. I'm in Southwest Florida in Tampa, and not really much has changed here. I mean, people are still people are careful. Like, people are wearing masks and stuff. You know, when you go out in public, but not really much has changed. Like, there's not any lockdowns or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, and that's the thing is, you know, it could be a rolling lockdown, you know, going from place to place, you know, where if it's one place, it's somewhere else, you know. So I don't know, man. I mean, it might be a while before everybody's back to normal. Yeah, it's hard to know. Hard to know with that stuff. Just, you know, just got to keep track of it. Try to manage it as it comes. Yeah, hospital admissions. Yeah, I know it's been getting worse. I mean, I keep seeing on the news that it's, you know, they're having issues. Even here, you know, here in the U.S. I mean, that, you know, hospitalizations have gone up. You know, hospitalizations are different than testing. Testing's one thing, but people are going to the hospital. That's a different story. For $1. Not going to do it. And it's rejecting this consolidation. I was going to see if this was going to go, if it was going to cut through it and go back to the top. But if this is going to be a lower high, and I don't want to get shaken out of this and then it slams all the way back up. But yeah, $0 is not looking very good right here. All of a sudden it's changed. Going to leave it on for now. And then I don't know what else to do. There's no other, it's weird because some of these pound pairs are like, looks like they're going to be short-term bullish. It's just, they look horrible on higher time frames. I don't know what the deal is with that. It's going to be chop. Yeah, anyway, today's one of those days you got to find something else to do. Figure it out, to find something to talk about. There's just not much going on right now in the market, fortunately. I'm not into taking heavy lot size, very short distance scalps. That's not my thing. I like to take less risk, not more risk. And there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people are successful doing that. It's just not, I don't prefer to trade that way. I try to not put myself in that mindset. So, you know, this is one of those days where, you know, you got to go down to a 1 minute chart to catch a trade, and it's just not for me. You know, the shorter the distance, the more risk you have to take to make it worth it. And it's just not my thing. Urwasi ended up making a move. I've taken extreme risks before, and I've gotten lucky, and I've also gotten absolutely destroyed trying to take big positions and move them short distances. And you get stopped out so many times that, you know, you have to have a tighter stop, and you just get absolutely destroyed. Just get stopped out 20 times, you know, and then you finally get a trade that runs, and it's not worth it in the end. You know, to me, you know, it depends, I guess. Depends on what you're doing. I mean, the reality is not many people are successful doing that. It's just the truth. Some people get lucky and then they don't show you the losses. They'll show you the big, you know, $10,000 profit, you know, on a 10 lot trade, but then they don't show you the other 50 times they got wrecked. You know, it's just the truth. Yeah, try to keep the risk low and try to be consistent over time. Don't worry about taking losses. Part of it. Tend to win much more than I lose anyway, so right now there's no wins to take. I'd like to take a trade here. Someone call Bogdanov and tell him to pump it or something. Tell him to dump it even. I don't care if he dumps it, that's fine. Might get Bog on the phone. Let's check him out. I bet he's the Bitcoin miners have had him on the phone lately. Somebody got him on the phone the other day with Bitcoin.
Yeah, somebody had him on the phone yesterday for that drop on SPS 500.
Yeah, that too.
I know you know. BB, I know you know some people that have meals down. Just call them up. Call them up, BB. I know you know people. They dump it for you, man.
Old Bog.
So AUD, I take on AUD CAD short at 98278.
Man, it's just so slow right now. It's actually comical how slow that some days can be. Some days you're here just cheering, yeah, go, go, go. And things just pumping out of control, and then some days nothing really happens. These Euro Aussie and Euro Kiwi actually made a little bit of a move, but it's just too late. That's the problem. Like, it's too late to get in it now. Because you see where this is? That's not a buy. After coming up that much, it needs to pull back. It's just not a buy here. It needs to put in some kind of structure, any kind of consolidation at all, or pull back. It's just not a buy. It had a little bit of a move there. We were talking about this. It should have taken it, just didn't take it. Euro Aussie, when this thing, it just looked like it was going to come off the low. And it just had that little move, little 10 pips. The heck, man. Might poke it and maybe it'll move. About the only thing that's happened. Oil made a move. Gold has stayed up. It hasn't really gone anywhere. It looks like it has, but it hasn't. It hasn't really moved very much. Oil did. Oil actually went and made a nice high here. See what happens now. I mean, it could go a little more, honestly, but it's not an entry. There's no more entry here. We're talking about, buying a house that's overpriced, or buying a car on a used car lot that's above its, MSRP. Why would you do that? Why would you buy something that's above its average price? It's ridiculous. Why, if it's above its average high of the day, why would you even bother taking a risk on it? It's an extremely important thing to consider. It's the most important thing in trading, period, end of story. Prove me wrong. Yeah, just got a big nothing range. Big range. Going on here, pound dollar. Big nothing. I think that's gonna dump later. Hasn't happened yet. Pound CAD, pound yen. Pound yen got shaken out of. $2 profit on that one. Euro CAD. See, dollar CAD's bearish, but it hasn't moved in 2 hours. Dollar hasn't moved. Been at the low of the range for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 2 hours. 2.5 hours. It's been in the same little area for 2.5 hours. Lol. Oil is definitely the mover of the day. Had the biggest move, and actually CAD hasn't really done a lot. It's interesting. Euro pound was a short earlier. That was pretty clean, but now it's just back. Not bearish on higher time frame. I mean, like overall structure, it's not bearish. It's not a sell. The entry is just not there. Pound pairs are just. I think the pound's just going to range today. It's going to be in back and forth in the range, and end up going down later or tomorrow. I think there's a higher time frame thing happening here, and this is just gonna. It's just going to do this kind of crap. And then eventually head over. Just there's nothing to do right now. There's no entry. Wait for this to come back. Actually, probably stop to, I mean, a target to break even on that pound CAD. I'm just still holding it. It hasn't really gone anywhere. Still in it. Crap. Bullish. It's not bullish. It looks like it is, but it's not. Boring. Oh, getting a move on the S&P here finally. Not much, but something. We got a rejection off the top of the range. I think this is coming down right now. Honestly, like, personally, I think this is going to roll back over time. I don't know how long it's going to take to get there, but what it looks like is going on here. Just slow. That's my personal take on it. Dollar CAD's nothing. Dollar peso's nothing. Oil, nice move. Too late. Gold, nice grind, but it's not an entry. I mean, think about what you're buying. You've broken every high, and you're buying the high of the day after just how many green candles in a row? Just not a great idea. You know, approaching this level here, this is also, you know, it's too close for comfort. Hasn't really moved very much. You got to go, I mean, these are little tiny candles here. Some days it be like that.
Your thoughts on Aussie dollar?
Aussie dollar, we'll take a look. See. Yeah, I mean, basically you gotta scalp on a day like this. You know, if you're taking, you know, heavy positions on going down like a 1 minute, 5 minute maybe, that might be a thing. You know, but you got to get in and out. Then you run the risk of, you know, a big volume out of nowhere with a heavy position on. You know, as crazy as the pound's been lately, you know, you really want to have a big heavy position on with that kind of volatility. You know, somebody comes out and says something about Brexit and you get slipped 30 pips on your stop. You know, is it worth it? You know, with a heavy position? It's just not to me. Happened too many times. I've learned my lesson on that. So on a day like this, I'd rather not take a position than take a big risk on a small time frame. It's just my personal take on it. I know other people have other opinions. I'm just trying to, you know, reiterate why I'm not interested in going down into a 1 minute time frame and taking ridiculous risks. It's just me personally. But it also depends on your goals. You know, some people just like to trade just for the gamble of it, and just like the you know, that's fine. That's a different story. That's totally cool. You know, just to get the win in. More interested in trying to be responsible with my balance. Show growth over time. So I can't really gamble like that. Euro Aussie. What did you say? What's Aussie dollar you said?
Yeah, Aussie dollar. I'm thinking a short.
I mean, this thing is crazy high. I'd much rather be short. Already, you know, automatically would rather be short, because I know where this is. I know how high it is. Yeah, I mean, it actually looks good. Yeah, I mean, you kind of had an equal high and then a progressively lower high. Like this is a good symbol. I mean, a good sign. When you get something like that, you get an equal high, and then you get that progressively lower high. Like that's a good thing. You know, it looks like wreck to me. You know, it's just, yeah, that last candle was bullish but failed. Yeah, I mean, got a potential failure happening right here. You know, that's, yeah, especially if this closes bearish. This closes down here at the low. You know, big bearish equal body lows like that. It's good. Good. I'd much rather be short. actually that's not a bad option. The only problem is there's 14 minutes left in the candle, but that could also be a good thing. Coming off the low, yeah, yep, range is blown out. I would much rather be short there, just try to get that back to the daily open or back to the low of the range. Even testing this swing low down here, I could definitely see that. I would rather be short for sure. Yeah, there's only one answer there. It's short. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And it makes me wonder about the dollar. Or if it's just the Aussie. You know, the Aussie and Kiwi are rolled over. And Kiwi dollar is probably the same. Probably had a bigger move. Yeah. Say it's probably the same structure, same thing. I mean, you just progressively lower highs and rolled over. Problem is it's already moved. The biggest issue here is that it's already happened. You know, like if you segment this, say, okay, what if this was a range? Would it be smart to sell it now? You know, on this one particularly. Yeah. But yeah, it's a maybe on Aussie dollar. Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely rather be short. I mean, looking at this price action, that's good price action. For sure. If this closes like that, you know, definitely. I mean, there's only one answer there. Already, you know, I mean, we had coast to coast run, reject, lower high. It's just, you know, the move you'd be looking for would just be to drift back down. You know, something like that. Nah, I don't know. Wait to see how this closes, but it's worth a shot. Yeah, I mean, you could just take it and then have a stop. And if it, you know, if it gets stopped out, if it goes back outside of the range, you know, scale it for, you know, a stop outside of that, you know, the range, you know, outside of the high. If it comes back up here and does that, then something else is going on anyway. You know, if you did take it now, you know, and you were looking for, you know, it's a minimum 1-to-1, I would say, with a possibility of, you know, more than that, you know, 1-to-3, maybe 1-to-2, 1-to-3. You know, I mean, if you put a stop above the high, I mean, if it's going to get through all of these rejections right here, then something else is going on. You know, you can see how many times this is rejected on the high, and now it's dropped through it. So if it comes back up and gets through all that, then there's something else going on anyway. So it's not really a bad risk. No, it's not a bad risk at all. Especially given how high that is. Question is, what's going on with the dollar for one thing? Man, yeah, the dollar is just chopping back and forth. You can see it in euro dollar. It's just doing nothing, going nowhere. But yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. We'll watch that. I mean, as far as the risk, like, you know, if you were to take this entry, I mean, you could scale your position size for a break of the high, or you could just say, you know, if it's going to break, if it's going to go over this, then I'll take the stop, and then just, you know, take the tight stop. It's just this may bounce back and forth like this and then go. Given, you know, this kind of price action, it's not closed yet. This candle could completely change also before that candle closes. Still got 10 minutes. Yeah, it's a maybe. I'd rather be short for sure, 100%. Just looking at price action and just knowing how high this is, the risk is always to the downside on something like that. Yeah, if it gets stopped out, no big deal, but definitely down. Dollar. Man. Dogecoin. What happened to Dogecoin? Did it go down? Get smoked. Take a look at that, actually. That's something to do. See what happened to old Doge. Take a look at this real quick. 1 minute. Dollars, nothing. Yet. Adds nothing, nowhere. So no movement. So anyway, let's take a look at the old Doge. Hold on a second. Doge Meister. Take a look at it on YouTube and see what's going on. Take a look at it against Tether. Whoops. What is the old Doge up to? 9 1,000ths of a penny. Lol. Like Bitcoin, where all the whales hide their money. Basically, it's what it used to be used for. It was just whales moving money. Used to be basically like a stable coin before Tether. Now Elon's pumping it. Got the Elon pump. Oh my god. Funny. This one's crazy. It's when it moves, like it against Bitcoin, it moves, but I think it was a pretty good percentage. When it moves one tick, it's like a solid. Yeah. Let's see how much is one tick here. Yeah, it's it's almost 3.5% per tick. This is funny. This is why the whales use this. Boom, that was down 3.5%. Slam instantly, then back up 3.5%, back and forth all day long. And people, you know, this movement like this, people just wait. They'll buy it, and then when it pops back up, they'll instantly sell it. It's like 3% all day long, moving very large amounts of money. This was like the whale casino here. It was Doge back in the day. It's the whale casino because it moves so it's a big percentage every tick. You know, every candle is almost 3.5%. Pretty funny. So yeah, people sit and wait. They'll wait, and if you look at what Doge does, yeah, this is it's been going on forever. Just sit and go back and forth. I used to do it myself. Sit and go back and forth. You know, people go all in on Doge, all in. It'll make a red candle, just instantly buy it, and then wait for it to go green, instantly sell it. And it's a 3.5% every tick. Every single tick, it moves 3.5%, and people just work the books all day long and just go back and forth, one tick, two ticks, and it'll do this. Like it'll just go see like this, just back and forth forever, just hours and hours and hours. It won't do anything but just flip back and forth in the books. You got to be quick, and if you're quick, you can catch it back and forth. And people just go all in Doge. It'd go down, make a red candle, you buy it, buy the open, boom, it goes up, you sell it. It's 3.5%. Goes down, you buy it, boom, goes up, you sell it, down, you buy it, up, you sell it, just back and forth, boom, 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 boom. And it's 3% per tick. Okay, these were 6% when it was lower. 6.2% every tick, and just look at it, just back and forth all day. Bang, 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 bang. This is how people this is the whale game. The whale game, Doge. That's everybody used to hide in it. They put just tons of money in this. There'd be millions and millions of dollars just moving back and forth just all day. One tick. All day long. Yeah, it's a little higher right now, so it's not as, it's only worth 31 satoshis. Yeah, I remember when this was, I remember when this was like 15 satoshis. Yeah, I remember it was much lower than that. I remember back in like 2017, 2018, I used to trade this all the time with Bitcoin. Just gambling. I mean, but it's fun gambling. I mean, it's exactly what it is. You know, you wait for it to come down. You watch the books, like, because you can see the order books on like Bittrex or Binance. You can probably see them too. But you wait for it to come down, and you buy it. You buy it when it's down. You watch the price. It'll get in this range like this. It'll just go back and forth, back and forth. When it hits down, you buy it, and it'll slam back up, and you instantly sell it. You have a bot that just, people have bots that do that. Just watch the price. If it, you know, you set a limit order, set a limit down, bing, fills, goes back up, bling, sells, bing, it fills, bing, it sells, bing, fills, sells, fill, sell, fill, sell, fill, sell, over and over and over and over and over with very large amounts of money, 3.5% per tick. That's how you trade Doge, and that's what everybody does on this. This is again, whale mover. People will put very large amounts of money and to move it ticks, just one tick, and be out. And you just watch this. It goes just all day long, all day. You can even look at it on lower time frames. Same thing. It's just because it's such a small move, and you know, it just doesn't look like normal candles. But you know, again, even the 5-minute candle is just one tick, 3.5%. You just wait, basically. Set a limit down here to fill, and when it comes down, fill your order, and then a lot of times it'll instantly slam back up, and you just sell it all day long. You just got to be very careful with this. Very careful when you're moving large amounts of money. You know, you don't want to see, boom, see that slam down? Somebody got filled there and it snapped all the way back up. And now when the order book, boom, see, slam, see that's a 3.5% move back and forth over and over and over. You watch the books and you set like a limit down here, and you watch your order in the book. You put it at a certain price. You put it at 30. Say I'll put it at 30 sats, and you got a limit on the books at 30 sats, and you're watching it. It'll come down, bang, and it'll fill. If it'll fill, you know, it comes back up 31 sats. You're selling at 31 sats. So you're taking one Satoshi over and over and over, not Satoshi, but one, you know, tick, basically one Satoshi. You know, one tick is 3.5% every time. Bang, 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 bang. Actually kind of funny. It's the whale casino. So anyway, enough about that.
BB, can you trade it on Prime XBT?
You can trade it probably everywhere, to be honest. I don't know, I don't know if it's on Prime. I used to trade it on Bittrex. I know it's on Binance and Bittrex. It's everywhere. Everywhere has Doge. This is actually one of the older coins. This is one of the oldest cryptocurrencies, and that's why there's so much money in it. People still trade it, but because of this, there's a very specific way to trade this. But you got to watch the order books. I've done it many times. I actually forgot about that. I need to go back to doing it now that there's volume in it. When there's trading volume and everybody's interested in it right now, people are getting absolutely rich on Dogecoin right now. I promise. When there's volume in it, that's probably what Elon did. They probably wrote a bot. They were like, "Hey, watch this. Let's pump it. Let's say I'm the CEO of Doge," and then you get the trading volume going, and then it moves back and forth, ticks 3.5% every day, raising that money for Tesla. See, that was a 3.5% move, and then boom, slam. Okay, so there's your open. Boom, slammed up 3.5%. You're out. You set a limit. You set a limit for 30 sats. Bang, up. 31, you're out. And just repeat all day long, and it'll just go sideways for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And then every once in a while, it'll take a drop down. And now you're down 3.5%. And you can work it back and forth. We'll do that sometimes. It's actually fun. Like gambling. You basically watch the books. Like if you go to nothing's really happening here. Second. For $1, I need to be able to watch this. It's pulling back right now. In a pullback phase, but then now pound CAD's going back down, so hit for tat today. The market really doesn't matter. Let's take a look at it. I bet Doge is Doge. The old doggy coin. God, what a mess. All right. Yeah, so basically you watch the books and you can see where the orders are coming through. They've changed this quite a bit, but yeah, I mean, basically you put a limit and say, okay, I want to get filled at, there's quantity 31. There's a lot of sellers at 31. Yeah, I mean, one tick spread basically. Yeah, there's buyers and sellers. So like I want to get, I want to buy 30. You put a buy in at 30, and then if it gets filled, that's can be the issue with Doge is getting filled. But when there's a lot of trading volume, like right now, everybody's talking about it. It's actually a good time to be doing it because there's a likelihood of getting filled. A lot of times your order won't get completely filled. It's not like FOREX where there's unlimited liquidity. In crypto, it can be different. You can, for people who have never traded crypto before, you gotta get filled. But yeah, this is actually really interesting. You put in a limit for 30 sats on the books, and then you wait for it to get filled, and then when it gets filled, you instantly put a sell for 31 sats. Then it goes up, boom. You bought it at 30 and sold it at 31. It's a 3.5% spread. And you just work it back and forth all day, and you got to pay fees. But it can be, if you're moving, so you like right there, boom, drop down, so your bid, your price is 30. If you're getting filled, say, okay, cool, I got filled here at 30. Now you're waiting, and you instantly put a sell at 31. So now you're providing liquidity at 31. Yeah, it's kind of like a market making bot, basically. You can do that in crypto because you can see the books. You say, okay, I'm selling, I'm providing liquidity. I'm a maker at 31. You're making the market. Say, I have Dogecoin available at 31. If someone wants to buy it, you put that on the books, and you just wait for the price to go back up to 31, and then you get filled, and that was it. It's made 3.5%. In one tick. It's one tick back and forth because of the way this works. Done it many, many, many times. I used to do it a lot, actually. It's just, it can be risky. I think the biggest problem with it is not getting filled, but when there's a lot of trading volume, it might not be that big of a deal. Anyway, it's interesting. The old Dogecoin. Yeah, one tick. Yeah, it's basically this. It's basically the spread. There's buyers and sellers at the same place. There's pretty much no spread. There's fees, but not really. It depends on what's available. Yeah, it looked like there's a spread of one tick. There's buyers at one level and sellers one tick away. But yeah, that's how you would run that. Here goes the pound selling off. Come on, I'm down. Pound CAD's not going anywhere. Every other one is running to the downside, but CAD. They are, but on Swiss is making a move. I'm telling you, these pound pairs are bearish. Just have to wait for hours for it to play out. Aussie and the Kiwis, stay away from that. Euro CAD, Euro pounds, nothing. Yeah, it's just nothing happening. Stopped out on this freaking euro dollar, man. This is one of those days where You just take the profit or don't trade. Unfortunately, it's hard to see it coming. It's hard to see it coming. Sorry, I was missing the chat. Happened to all the pound. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the pound, to be honest. It's really nothing. I think the pound is bearish. Again, I'm sticking with that right now. Just looking at higher time frames. I think the overall macro structure is very bearish. And it just hasn't played out yet. Trying now. Man, what a mess. It's back and forth. Nothing to do. I wish there was something, you know, I wish there was a trade to take. It's just, it's a very dangerous market environment right now. You know, it's a good game. You know, if you're playing lower time frames, cool. Just not for me. And there's a very specific reason why. It's because the shorter the distance, you know, if you know you're in a dangerous, choppy market environment, and you got to get in and out quickly, then that means a shorter distance. And the smaller the distance, the more risk you have to take in order to get a significant dollar amount. So basically you're taking a heavy amount of risk in a dangerous market environment. Now, does that sound like a good idea? Or should you just not trade? You know, that kind of thing. You know, and everybody's got a different opinion on that, but just the logic of it, you know, if you're forced to take a heavy amount of risk in a choppy, dangerous market environment, then that doesn't sound like a favorable market condition to me. It doesn't sound like a good deal. So rather do nothing, you know. But, you know, so, you know, you might get it right, you know. Euro Kiwi actually looks interesting. That's putting in some interesting price. If this, again, if this will range, like, that'd be fine. It's looking okay. Putting in some good price action. Amazingly, it's just the entry. The entry is not good. You know, you're basically chasing it. You're chasing something that's just rejected on a high if you're buying this now. So, I mean, if you have a very tight stop, then you can get away with that. You know, if you took this long, then you better have a tight stop on it. Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah, it's gonna get stopped out on euro dollar. Gonna leave it alone. Leave it alone. If we get stopped out on that, I'm probably just watch for the rest of the day until something happens. I mean, I can see that this is not a good market environment. This is one of the days where you just like play Call of Duty or something. And I mean, there's, you know, a descriptive reason why. Like you can actually describe why. You know, looking at higher time frames. Wow, there goes the dollar. Pulled back up pretty hard. That's what's going on with euro dollar. Dollar just slammed back up. See if it stays there. But yeah, I mean, it's not a good market environment today. And you can see it on higher time frames. There's a lot of chop. There's a lot of just back and forth going on. Dollar's actually moved back up. But yeah, Euro Aussie, the Aussie and the Kiwi have obviously rolled over. And finally a good game on that. Melting, you know, this one I should have taken that I was saying earlier. This is one of the few things that looked good. Just didn't take it, and now that it's above here, I'm not going to chase that up. You know, again, if it'll pull back, maybe I'll take a risk on it. It's just this is a big wide range, and you're chasing something after it's already kind of moved a lot. Not a super fan of that. I would rather wait and see what happens. Again, it's too much risk. Look at this. Like, look at these. Look at this EuroCAD. Look at this price action on this. Hold on. Like, look at these candles. Look at this. How dangerous this is. Just back and forth. Just the death dealer. The death dealer of chop here. What the heck, man? Like, it's, you know, this is just, it's hard to trade this kind of stuff. Like, you know, the only thing you can do is just, you know, buy tops and bottoms of ranges. And it's just, people are just getting wrecked in here. And I'm staying out of it. Not messing with that today. I don't have the patience to mess with that today. Just, these are the days that, that I get frustrated. See, my biggest emotional trading issue is when the markets aren't moving and there's not an opportunity. I get frustrated with the market. I want to call Bog and tell him to pump it. Just do something. Just do something. I'm sitting here doing nothing. And the hard part, the crazy thing is sometimes you can't figure it out ahead of time. Like, you don't know, because you don't know what's going to happen. Something could happen and completely change, and you know, then volume comes in, and some whatever, President Trump says something, or former President Trump, you know, whatever, you know, it might, you know, something about the China trade deal, something will happen with Brexit, and all of a sudden the stuff will start moving. And but if not, you're sitting here waiting. You just sit here and wait for nothing to happen. And it's frustrating. That's the only frustrating part. Other than that, like, everything's normal. You know, it's just a normal day. Like, some days you get ranging consolidation days. You know, after look at what happened here yesterday on Euro Pound. See this big huge push, this big trendy move, and now we're just in a range. That's how markets work. You know, that's totally fine. You get a big trend, and now we're just in a range. And we got to let this stabilize and work itself out. And some days are just like that. The problem is sometimes it's hard to see that ahead of time. You know, you can look back at it later and say, oh, today was a crap day. Today was just, you know, London session just ranged and nothing happened. But it's very difficult to see that ahead of time. It's almost, I mean, it's impossible. Like, you don't know that that's going to happen, but you can look at it later and say, oh, trading was crap today. But, you know, you didn't know that at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, so you got to sit here and wait. And then when nothing happens, it's frustrating. It's like, Jesus Christ, like, sat here and nothing happened. But, you know, it is what it is. The cool thing about the markets is there's always another trade. There's always another opportunity. Then something that looks like it's going to be crap ends up running for some weird reason. And you miss it. And it's just, you know, you got to wait. You just wait for the next trade. Like this, I'm about to get stopped out of this, even though I want to stay in this just because of what's going on here. Wish this would go back up. Actually, I'm going to set a profit target to break even on this euro dollar. If it goes back up, I'll just de-risk it. It's not stopped out yet, it's close. Stop is actually a little lower than that. Close. They're around the middle of the range, just right in here, right at the middle. Yeah, that's another thing. You know, it can change. You know, the dollar pumped. You know, the dollar was very bearish and then pumped out of nowhere. So now that that's pumped, you know, euro dollar's gone down. That's what happened here. You know, the dollar's just taken back off. So, you know, you can sit through it and wait. It's probably just going to be a consolidation. It's probably going to come back up and retrace a little bit. And if not, just take a stop. It's just going to be one of those days. Probably not going to take any more trades right this second. See what happens see what happens going into New York. Just, I'm not going to intentionally throw money into a market that's a dangerous environment. Just for the sake of taking a trade, you know, just for the sake of doing something on YouTube or whatever. Like, you know, I'm not going to throw money away, but at the same time, you know, we'll stay on top of it and, you know, stay on top of the analysis and figure out what's going on. And something might happen. You know, something like oil might get to a high of the day and turn over and go the other way, which is, you know, possible. It's possible that this comes all the way back and there might be a trade there. As the dollar CAD has just taken off all of a sudden, when it chopped for 3 hours straight and then pushed. So yeah, S&P's rolling over on target. That makes sense. That was the only thing that made sense there. Pound dollars rolled over. We'll watch it. Watch and see. There's really nothing crazy going on. Some of these things, what was that? It's the dollar. You know, and that's another, and if the dollar comes, if the dollar's going to hold, if it's going to go up and pull back and hold that, then there may be something there. It may, you know, flip euro dollar the other way. If the dollar is going to show that it's going to go up, it may flip it the other way. I just don't think that's a good idea right now. I don't want to be short on euro dollar right this second, because it's still above that consolidation. As long as it's above this right here, I don't want to be short on that, like right from here. Like you could just be shorting into a quote unquote support. You know, look at the density that's right there. It could just do this, make a higher low, and then come back and break that high. And this could just be a big higher low, you know, that kind of thing, if you want to draw a trend line. And then you're literally selling the bottom. You know, it's just not a good idea, you know, to sell into this kind of density like this when we're on top of it, pulling back to it. It's just also not the best entry long. So I don't know. I have a feeling this is going to come down and then go back up a lot. And then we're just getting shaken out of it. It's just in shot. It's chopping back and forth. Chopper style. You know, what I want to do is, since this is a smaller position, is just back this out a little bit and let it breathe, and then figure out what it's going to do. You know, it's just, I mean, I've only got 10,000 units on this. Like, it's not like a big money trade because it was uncertain at the time. But if it goes, you know, it could be something. You know, get $40-50 out of it. It's better than nothing. You know, while I try to figure something else out, it was just one of those, you know, take many trades. So just throw this down. Like, this isn't the only trade I'm looking to take. You know, just take it and be like, all right, you know, if I get $30-40 out of it, cool. You know, look at something else. And if it goes, then maybe I'll tack on something. You know, maybe I'll put a little bit bigger position on. If it's going to actually show me the right thing. Yeah, I mean, just unfortunately got a bunch of nothing, guys. Sorry. Can't make the market move. I can't force it to happen. I mean, this pound's just not a buy either. Pound pairs are just they're just going back and forth. That's not a buy. These are bearish period on higher time frames. I'm not buying it here. I'd rather just wait and watch it. If it goes up, then that's fine, but I don't want to buy it looking at the 4-hour candle like that. I'm waiting for that 4-hour to close. They're doing something. S&P's interesting. Gold's still moving. Oil is actually one of the, got volatility in oil. Yeah, you've got some spread here. That. I don't know. See what happens here. But what's causing the pump in the dollar? Who knows? That is a great question. It's probably the euro or the pound. Sometimes it's actually the dollar. But the dollar index is just really weird what's going on right here. Got the pound, the euro, and the dollar all moving up at the same time, and the Swiss franc. Look at what's going on here. You got the euro, the pound, the Swiss franc and the dollar all trending to the upside at the same time, and the yen. Everything is trending up. There's nothing to do when everything's going the same direction. Everything is going the same direction. Like over time, like the trend of what's happening here over the last 2 hours, everything is moving up at the same time. What do you do? Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me run to the kitchen real quick and be right back. Gonna warm this hot chocolate coffee up and we'll continue this day. Actually, we'll switch over to New York session in just a minute. Give me 1 minute, I'll be right back. Okay. All right, everybody on YouTube. I'm gonna flip it over. I've got to restart the stream real quick. Be right back. Just got to flip it over to start the New York session stream, because if I go over 4 hours, YouTube won't. They it won't archive the video. I've only got a few minutes left, so let me do that, and we'll flip it back over. We'll continue this day and see what's going on into. We'll take another spin here in just a second. We'll see what's going on in New York. See if we can find some money here. So yeah, give me a second. I'll be right back. Be right back.